Hello, guys. Someone said
Oh,
I should do the whole stream just through the chat and not actually hit start. Sorry for being so late. We're like an hour and a half late. I know. Well, hold on. We're 5 minutes late because Lilith was getting water. Then we were 15 minutes late because we were kind of arranging the stream. And then we were an hour and a half late before that because I was like still getting ready and I was still getting water. And then we were a day late because you went to a concert yesterday.
right.
So we're actually very late, in fact. Mm.
Hey,
Hi.
better
How
late
is
than never, right?
better late than never? Also, I guess we're about 2 weeks late. This is kind of an older story, but I still wanted to cover it. Um, how was your concert yesterday, by the way?
Oh, it was. I don't know if this is the right stream to talk about it.
It'll be fine. Listen. This is the
I
this is the
know.
Tubcast. This is the stream where we come first, so it's okay.
Uh, it's a solemn story, and like the concert was supposed to be a happy thing. I went to see Voltaire yesterday, and it was actually no, it was fantastic. Like,
That's great.
yeah, I had a great time, and
You missed
he,
Barotrauma.
he
The
was,
entire
yeah.
group is now turning on you.
I'll show up next week, hopefully.
Oh, so Derlammer Gear just gave $10 and said Sam Hyde can't keep getting away with it. Jesus. Listen, I will say, if you want to super chat, please consider doing it now rather than later, because the minute that we play the footage of the event, this video is getting hyper demonetized and it's not coming back. But we do get all super chats from before that point. We still get those. So if you do intend to support us today, please do so earlier rather than later, if you don't mind. Oh, Wally TJ, thanks for the membership, dude. Dev, you're my first YouTube memberships. Happy to support you. Also, I called it 5 minutes late. Yeah, I know. We're late. We're late. And yes, I know that we're stepping on admin such as toes. Just these things had to happen sometimes. It just didn't work out. In fact, Lilith, are you good actually for next week being Sunday as well?
I don't mind. I
Are are
mean,
are your Sundays kind of like generally open?
not really. It really depends. I would prefer Saturdays if possible,
Okay.
but
No,
like
because I have a few Sundays coming up where I'm not going to. Saturdays coming up where I'm not going to be available. I wouldn't mind doing Sundays, or like I guess during the week too, if you want. It all depends on when you're available. I guess
maybe Monday. The latest
Mondays,
Tuesday, because I
Tuesdays.
usually have Tuesdays off.
Okay. Do you usually work like Sunday afternoons, or do you usually have something else going on?
I usually have something else going on, or I have work. So
Okay. Okay. Let's see. $10 from House of Haas. My theory is that the FBI held back the manifesto because it was a hate-filled call to action for all trans people, which makes what David Pakman said worse because they were targeted. I mean, that's possible, but that's definitely like some conjecture. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Cooper, they don't actually take the super chats. We still get the super chats. It's just that the moment the stream becomes demonetized because we play something that's banned, you can no longer super chat after that point. So all super chats from before that point we still get, which is why I say super chat early. But thank you. Black Kiwi, $5. Hello, Dev. Your favorite Kiwi commie is here to gaslight you. Interesting to see y'all cover this. I can't wait for the chat to spurg out. Thanks, man. Lammergear, $5. Will you be discussing the train that got caught in Colorado Springs? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because there was a second trans shooting that was foiled before it happened. Do you remember hearing about that?
actually, I heard about that one.
Yeah, they stopped the
I
person
heard
before they did
about
it.
that one because the shooter. It was a good thing that the shooter was stopped. I think this time was the shooter was like, or the potential shooter was gonna be like a trans woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this like the shooter was or almost shooter was was just like a crazy person. They
Yeah,
actually called that they're actually like a Vouch hater, if you could believe it or not.
I saw that. Yeah, they call. Well, hold on. I can definitely believe being a Vouch hater. Hold on, come on now. But yeah, they called Vosh a terrorist and Lauren Southern pathetic. And it's like, oh, I guess you must hate both sides. The ultimate centrist.
Yes, the almost centrist shooter.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I see all the super chats rolling in. I really do appreciate it. We'll take a break in the first little bit, and I'll read over a bunch of them. But for now, we got to get going because time is limited. But keep them rolling in
Oh,
because you're not. Once we play the footage of the event, we're not going to be able to have any more super chats. So keep them rolling in, guys. I really appreciate it.
I think she also called Donald Trump a con man,
All right.
which is like a I don't know, because like normally when the left criticizes Trump, they call him like a far right or a Nazi
Yeah.
type of person, and calling Trump a con man is more like something you'd see from Poe.
That's true. That's true. You think it might be like a right wing trans person who's going nuts this time?
It's possible.
One of those like
Or
cat boys that dances around wearing like a Hugo Boss uniform.
yes, cafe beef
Oh
reference.
God, dude,
Well, she's not a femboy. But
we should get Cafe Beef on the show at some point.
yes, we totally should. Wait,
Okay,
actually, I don't know if how cafe beef identifies, because
I
think they
I
go
think
back and forth sometimes.
I think
Right?
Cafe Beef's problem is that she's just very depressed and so she doesn't know what she is.
Yeah,
I feel for her.
yeah, I can sympathize on some level. It's
Yeah.
like she probably has body dysmorphia too. Like this isn't a point against her, because like I have it to some degree, where it's just like she thinks she's super duper ugly or unpassable, when most people, when putting a picture of cafe beef without context, would just be like, oh wow, what a cute lady.
Well, I don't know what's going on with her. All I know is that I feel for her because she's having a rough time of it.
Yeah.
Let me find here real quick. Where did my...
Hope she doesn't mind us bringing her up.
It'll probably be okay. Did I lose one of my links? No! Jesus. I think I did. Fuck. Okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, we should start first. Can I just find it here? Da, 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 da. Dave did a lot of the research for this one, guys. So everyone say thank you to Dave. But his research is very unorganized. Come on. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see if this will work, okay? I have to do this a bit slapdash today. What do we got here? We're not going to go over all these links because Dave said collected way too many, but we will at the very least discuss some of them. Okay. Thanks, Dave, says a random guy.
My fellow Americans.
No. God damn it, Tim Pool. Why did Dave put a Tim Pool in here? He's more of a fence sitter than I am.
I don't know about that these days.
Yeah, he is. He's going like full into the Civil War that's totally going to happen, guys. It's totally going to happen.
On that Civil War train for like years now. Like
Yeah.
I remember him talking about the Civil War since like I don't know, since like Trump years.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
any day now.
Any day. Okay, so. Again, thanks for all the supers, guys. I will take a break and read them, but we have to get to this, okay? Can I bring this up here real quick? Here, I'll do. I'll minimize this, and I'll just pull that up later. Okay, here we go. So, this story starts about a month ago when we saw a bunch of bans or restrictions on gender-affirming care for minors, and also restrictions on the drag queen story hour stuff get signed into law in a bunch of red states. We've seen it, I think, in Arkansas, in Arizona, and in Tennessee, which is where this event happened, Tennessee. And so you can see Tennessee Governor Bill Lee on Thursday signed into law a total ban on gender-affirming healthcare for transgender children, despite calls for him to veto the bill and threats of incoming litigation.
I feel like it's worth pointing out that we don't know exactly what the shooter's
motivations are.
This
is one possible motivation, yes.
So yes, just to make that clear, this is like a possible motivator that could be it.
Governor Lee also signed up on a new law to prohibit adult-oriented entertainment, including male and female impersonators, from public property and limit it to age-restricted venues. The legislation filed after a flurry of drag show controversies in Tennessee is not a total ban of drag, though opponents worry it could open the door to wider legal battles. Okay. Is this the... What are these? Are these the original... Right. Will drag performances be banned? So the bill bans adult-oriented performances that are harmful to minors, as defined by the state's obscenity law, on public property or within sight of someone who is younger than 18. Okay, so this, to be honest, seems reasonable, because it's not banning it everywhere. It's only banning it for kids. So you can still, you can't do it on the street, but you can do it in a private, drag club, right? You can do it in the privacy of your own home, okay? This is probably a reasonable restriction. I understand this. I understand this, the slippery slope argument. I understand that exists, but
no, that's not what I'm going to say.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just like, why not ban like sexually explicit stuff around children, just in general, right?
Oh, he did. So that's why it says adult-oriented performances that are harmful to minors. So this includes the drag stuff, but it also includes other types of performances.
Okay, that's fine.
So this law seems reasonable. Let's see the other one now.
I have some problems with just how vague the writing might seem at some point, though. Because it might seem a bit like too open to interpretation. But as long as like it's just banning explicit sexual stuff, then I have no problem with it.
Right.
Kids shouldn't be exposed to sexual content.
Let's see. The law says no sexual performances in the presence of children. You can't do it in drag. You can't do it naked. You can't. Yeah, so okay. It does seem to be... All right. This one. Tennessee bill to ban trans treatments for minors advances in the committees. So what did this one say? Republican backed legislation to ban medical treatments for transgender youth to clear its first hurdles this week, moving quickly through committees in both General Assembly chambers over objections from Democrats.
Does this bill ban child beauty pageants?
I don't know if it does. I don't know. It should, in my opinion. Those are also fucking weird.
It definitely should ban it, I would think.
Here, let me actually look this up real quick, because I don't know that one. That shit's fucking weird, dude. No, they're still around. Does Tennessee have child beauty pageants? Yep, Regency International Pageant. So fucking weird, dude.
Because I feel like this bill would be kind of just
in Memphis, Tennessee.
Also banning that as well.
In Memphis, Tennessee, we are looking for girls from ages 0 to 15 to compete. What the fuck, dude? It's a different topic, but it should also be banned. It's so fucking strange. Okay, hold on. The chat is now saying that Lilith is going in on whataboutism. Yeah, but it's good whataboutism because this should also be banned. All right, you can't fucking defend this.
Yeah,
shit.
Why would you want child beauty pageants to be a thing?
Yeah, that's weird. Child beauty pageants are about talent. How in the fuck? Child beauty pageants are about talent. They have a lot of talent at getting my dick hard in a child. Jesus Christ. Okay. So
So,
anyway,
so a lot of people in the chat are just geared towards like completely anti me because like
anti Lilith action.
yeah,
Okay, hold on
it's
though.
just like me just basically saying like this is just speculation at this point because
Yeah, a lot of this is speculation.
it's a reasonable speculation.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it isn't,
Mhm.
but like
We can be
it's
against all of it.
important
Yes.
to make sure like
Yeah. So
we're not saying this is the motivator for sure.
this is one possible motivator. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a possible
Um,
motivator.
Here, let me read over this here real quick. Okay, so this bans medical procedures, medications, and surgeries for youth living with gender dysphoria. Doctors would be prohibited under the law from providing any health care to minors to identify with or live as a purported identity inconsistent with their sex assigned at birth. It would also block youth from receiving health care via telehealth, and I think telehealth is like an interstate thing. Okay. And here's the logic that they give, okay? The weight of these decisions is too heavy for children. As a society, we understand that minors need limitations, so we place many age restrictions on activities for children that can have lifelong consequences, such as smoking, drinking alcohol, buying lottery tickets, and even getting tattoos. It is reasonable to put age restrictions on these transformational elective medical procedures. Okay, that's going to be their logic. I understand where they're coming from, but I ultimately don't agree with this logic. Okay? And the reason that I don't agree with this logic is because while, yes, we have seen gatekeeping be thrown by the wayside, and we are now seeing more than ever detransitioners come out of the woodwork because of it, that's not good. All right? We have to get a handle on that situation. At the same time, there are absolutely people who are underage, who are starting puberty, who have gender dysphoria, and it's not going to go away as a result of growing up. For some of them it will, but for some of them it won't. And for those people, the best shot they have at living anything close to even a moderately functional life is transitioning. It is an imperfect treatment, but it is a treatment. And for those people for whom it is an appropriate treatment, which isn't everyone, it's not everyone who claims it, but it is for some of them. For those people who it is appropriate, it is best to start it when puberty begins. So a blanket ban, in my opinion, is not the right path to go down. There should be more gatekeeping, there should be more investigation, but it should be an option on the table for those kids who would legitimately need it. Now, I think the reason that they're going for a blanket ban is because there's this belief, which I think is at least partially true, that the medical institutions have been ideologically captured by people who don't care about gatekeeping at all, and they're just going to rubber stamp whoever asks for it. That's also bad, and that needs to be handled. But this might be swinging too far in the other direction. So there's my nuanced dev take on the situation.
Yeah, I basically completely agree with you there.
Oh,
And
there we go.
I've always said like important, like especially when it comes to minors, important. It is very important that there is full medical evaluation, and from multiple doctors if needed.
Mm-hmm.
That a kid isn't just influenced by their classmates or by their teacher or by media or whatever, and
Yeah.
it isn't just a phase for them.
Because social
For
contagion is real.
some,
Social contagion is very real. It's a possibility. So yes.
for some kids, it might just genuinely be that, and
Mhm.
but however, for some people, like I was, the gender dysphoria didn't go away, and being forced to go through a puberty that ultimately wasn't correct for me was extremely distressing, and basically it was horrific, and it was like body horror.
Oh, I will. Let me amend one thing though. I do think that if we're talking surgery, top surgery or bottom surgery,
Oh yeah,
that should be.
absolutely.
Wait till you're 18. Absolutely, no exceptions. No nothing. You wait for that. All right. I'm talking specifically about hormones where applicable, and about like growing out your hair long and wearing dresses or whatever, the cross-dressing aspect of it. I'm talking about those things, okay? Those things should be allowed under medical supervision, under a non-ideologically captured medical supervision. Younger than 18, but for surgery, 18 is a hard limit. Yes.
Yep, agreed. I don't feel like kids should be getting surgeries before their body is fully grown. Well, I
Yeah.
feel like they should ban circumcisions on infants, so it's consistent with that line of thinking.
So Kyle Vernon in the chat says, "How about never?" Well, no, because here's the thing. Even if, okay, let's just say we discover some miraculous new bit of medicine, and we discover that gender dysphoria was never actually real, and every single trans person's faking it. Okay, let's just assume that for hypothetical sake. After you're 18, if you want to transition, even though there's no medical need, you should be able to. I mean, it's on your own dime, right? Because at that point it would be cosmetic, but you should have the freedom to do that sort of thing as an adult. Obviously, that's part of what freedom is. So no, we shouldn't be blanket banning transition. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. All right. I should have all out of coffee. God damn it. That's it. That's the end of my coffee. I don't have any water in here either. Jesus, I guess I'm going to go with dry mouth. Okay. So this is what's going on in Tennessee. In my opinion, it swings too far in the other direction. I know that generally due to like the left pushing, we've had not enough gatekeeping on this, but they're swinging back around to just blanket banning it. And the answer is in the middle. It needs to be highly gate kept, but not banned. That's how it has to be, I think. And so this is going too far for me. But one of the possible motivations that people are saying might be a motivator for this shooting is the passing of this bill to ban trans treatments for minors. It's one of the possible motivations, and this happened, a month ago. The shooting happened like a week or two ago, and the passing of the legislation happened at the start of March. Okay. See, so the chat says blanket ban for children, blanket ban to you're an adult. I don't agree with you guys, but I understand. I don't think you guys are evil for thinking that, right? Because I think it's reasonable to be like, Jesus, should doctors really be doing this to kids? Like, that's a reasonable impulse to have. I don't agree with you, but I don't think that you're evil for disagreeing with me. So that's okay. Hold on. That might be all I have about. Let me just take this away real quick. That might be all I have about the the Tennessee bill as one of the possible motivators for this. I think so. Here. Hold on. Right. Okay. Are you still there, Lilith? Did you vanish?
I'm here, still here.
Okay.
I guess it's also worth mentioning that when you are talking about your position, you're not talking about like 5-year-olds or 8-year-olds. You're talking about like
starts
people
puberty.
who are
Yeah, like 14,
going through
13,
puberty.
whatever it is. Yeah.
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 Because like when the topic of trans kids could cover like people could conjure up all sorts of images in their heads about like, because these days the definition of kid could mean anyone below the age of 18.
Mm-hmm.
So
someone says
lots of chats are saying, "Oh, blanket ban," but we don't agree.
I don't agree with that. No. Yeah. Someone in the chat says, "Are you okay with osteoporosis and arthritis among other health problems that are caused by childhood hormone therapies?" The issue ultimately is every time you get a therapy, there's always a trade-off, right? I mean, chemotherapy has a heavy trade-off, but you do it ultimately because it does work, and it sucks, but you get through it. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and say that transitioning is perfect and it has no downsides and everyone gets to be a happy anime girl after they transition. There's a lot of bad side effects. There's the fact that you're going to be a customer of the medical apparatus for the rest of your life. That's true. All right? But even with all the bad side effects, I think it's an appropriate treatment for some people. Okay? Some people are saying 16, some people are saying 16. Some people I've seen some people say 15. Like most people will say like lots of people will say 18. Lots of people will say 16. Some people will say 15 or 14. We're all kind of honing in on the same basic ideas. There is a sense that this is appropriate for some people at some age, and that it's more successful if correctly, accurately diagnosed. When you take it earlier, and also assuming it's your only option. So like, there's a negotiation to be had here in good faith, but I don't think even in that negotiation, I don't think that just ban it for everyone. That's not a reasonable position in my opinion.
I also think it should ultimately be up to the parents.
Mhm.
Like, really.
So
It should be gatekept and be up to the parents, not
Mhm.
the politicians.
So yeah, someone says it's supposed to be a last resort, Dev, not the first one they pick. I mean, I agree with you actually. Like, if yeah,
In fact, I agree with you.
yeah.
Like,
So like a kid comes in and there's maybe you should like see if he's depressed first before you recommend transitioning. Like, of course should be a last resort. I also agree with you. Okay?
yeah, I agree as well.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
some people want to pretend like I'm trans to children or whatever, but I've always been an advocate of stringent gatekeeping when it
Yep.
comes to like teenagers.
So stringent gatekeeping, but not blanket banning. That's my position.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right. So that series of legislation was one of the possible motivations for this shooting. Let me dig up the next possible motivation. Okay. Before I lose my goddamn mind here. Okay. Real quickly. Okay. So some people, I think this was more from rightoids than anyone else. This is the mental illness conversation, okay? Let me just quickly find what I'm talking about. Okay.
Someone asked, what about states taking the parents' right away? Well, a blanket ban would be taking the parents' right away. Like, it would be the very definition of that.
Mm-hmm. I've noticed that the Clown World account likes to delete its tweets every once in a while. I wonder if they're just trying not to get banned, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. This is going to be a bit of an uncomfortable discussion, but it is reasonable to ask.
You're
These
starting
questions,
off
I
with
think.
a spicy,
Yeah.
controversial thing that with the chat today, huh?
Yep, that's fine though. It's okay. Okay, so here I'll switch over so you can see it too, Lilith, and then I'll give it to the chat.
Okay.
So, chat, here you go. Sorry for the little extended wait. So, whenever we talk about a shooting on this channel, because we've talked about several shootings on this channel, we talk about mental illness. And, if it's like a young white guy, so you know what, here, we can even use direct examples, right? So we talked about the Buffalo supermarket shooter who left behind a white supremacist manifesto. And he was obviously influenced by the ideology that he talked about, but he also had serious mental health issues. All right. We talked about the July 1st sniper last year and how he was an incel and how that ideology influenced. And he had it was both ideology and also mental health issues. It was both of them. All right. So we need to have that same conversation about this shooter. Okay. Mental health issues and ideology. But because this person is trans, that is a much spicier topic in today's political climate. But it is the truth, and we need to at least consider it. Okay? So,
Line is also just blatantly incorrect because it's
what do you
not
mean?
a trans woman.
Trans man, yes.
Yeah, it's a trans
This
man.
this
And
is this is
that
oops.
that line is just blatantly confusing people.
Yep.
Like,
So
it's like,
we're talking biological female who transitioned to be a trans man. Yes. Yes. Someone who was born a woman became a man. That's what we're talking about here. This is not a trans woman, okay? I find that like a lot of people's brains break as soon as you bring up trans men because they seem to be more rare than trans women. But
yeah,
in any case, so let's ideology and mental health. The mental health conversation about this is kind of tricky because gender dysphoria is already a mental illness. There are some people out there who are going to claim, no, it's not, and it's bigoted to think so. Those people are wrong and retarded. Okay? They're just 100% fucking brainless. Obviously, gender dysphoria is a mental illness. That's why it's covered by healthcare programs, because you're treating something. Like, transitioning is treatment. What are you treating if there's no illness? It's so stupid, okay? But the point is that it's mental illness. So how do we differentiate between the inherent mental illness that comes with being trans and additional mental illness that might not be a factor of being trans? That's a tough question.
right.
What do you think? Do you have any ideas on it, or?
Um, I got like I was just reading a chat earlier. Someone says it's a woman who is trans, and I was just like, okay, well, it might make sense to you, but that's not how like 99% of just
I know what
discourse.
you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, but in terms of this though,
Yeah.
this is kind of it's a tough question, but it's an important question because okay, you get like you get the white supremacist Buffalo supermarket shooter. Okay, how much of his radicalization came out of the ideology he followed, and how much of it was a result of his mental issues? Okay, you can kind of parse out those two motivations and have that discussion. If you're talking about a trans shooter, it's going to be tougher because the ideology is going to be something that is in some way tied with a mental illness. You know what I mean? So this is a much tougher conversation, and I don't know exactly how to think about this. I'm still thinking about it.
I guess it really just depends on the person.
Mm-hmm. Here, so
Like, we've seen like trans people of all sorts of ideological stripes coming out lately. I mean,
yes,
someone like
yep,
Blair White would be drastically different from someone like Heffels, for example.
yes, of course. So
And if Blair White were to, say, do something horrible like this, completely theoretically,
yes,
I
of
don't
course.
think Blair White would be motivated by trans ideology.
No, I don't think so.
So,
I guess.
and
Here's
just as like just as how like this shooter could be motivated by something completely different too, or they could be motivated by trans ideology. We don't know at this point.
we don't know yet. We don't know it yet. It could be. We're gonna consider all possibilities here. Here, how about this, Lilith? How about this? So, it seems reasonable that if you take a person and they are, let's say, they have bad enough clinical depression, they can and only have bad enough clinical depression, they might shoot a place up, right?
Right.
Yeah. Or if they have like bad enough, I don't know, whatever, what other possible mental illnesses could lead to this? Like there seems to be at least a few, right? Bad enough mental illness, mental problems, they could shoot a place up, even independent of ideological radicalism, right? it seems like they could do it just because they're lonely or just because they have really bad depression. It's possible. It's possible. So if that's the case, is it possible for a person to only suffer from bad enough gender dysphoria and nothing else that they would shoot a place up? There's no ideology involved. There's no other mental problems. It's just really bad dysphoria that leads them to commit violence. Is that a possibility?
I feel like anything is possible, and so is this scenario. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the person could use any sort of motivation, like bullying or being molested as a young age,
Mm-hmm.
or just
Yep.
like discontentment with society,
Mm-hmm.
or just pure, like, sometimes people just want to kill people, or it could
Yep.
be
Yep.
motivated by dysphoria. It's just,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it's all possible.
yeah, the issue then becomes
Well, like some leftists would probably say like it's motivated by toxic masculinity, I guess,
or capitalism, oppression
or
under capitalism.
capitalism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry. There's I absolutely have a section of this of people trying to make this shooter seem like a sympathetic person or a victim. Or don't worry, we'll get to that section. There's some crazy shit some people have said out there. What
Oh
I'm
yeah,
getting at,
I
though,
want to make it very clear. This person, no matter what they've done, they are not a victim.
no,
When
they are not. No, absolutely not.
when you take your aggression out on school children, of all people, you are not a victim anymore.
Yeah, completely agreed. Completely agreed. Obviously, right? So I guess what I'm getting at then is it's exceptionally hard to tease out trans ideology as being a separate motivation from mental illness in this case, because a core component of being trans is having a mental illness. And some people cope with it better or worse, some people, but the point is that you have to have gender dysphoria. I'm very much a trans medicalist in this regard. You have to have gender dysphoria. So if being trans requires some level of mental illness, it's going to be very hard to extract out the two possibilities and discuss them independently. Because can a person be ideologically captured by trans ideology and become radicalized to the point that they shoot up a school, but not actually have gender dysphoria? I'm not sure that's possible. You know what I mean? Maybe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, like in the universe, I could definitely picture that happening, and it could turn out tomorrow that this person's manifesto gets pushed out, and it's just like, it's just every anti-trans person's wet dream about what a deranged trans person would think. I mean, that's very possible.
Brock says, read the manifesto. Last I checked, it wasn't out yet. If it just got dropped or something, link it, man. We'll check it out. But I haven't been able to find it. So,
I feel like all this speculation is kind of, it's almost pointless without like any sort of definitive proof pointing towards one way or another. And some the haters are saying, "Oh, but that's cope. That's cope. It's definitely trans ideology. That's definitely trans ideology." You don't know that for sure. It could be,
but we don't know yet. So there
but it
are
also
actually
could not be. I'm not saying one way or the other. It's not cope to just point out we don't know.
Lars says it's censored. If it's censored, at least drop a link to the censored one and I'll grab it. But hold on. There are other possibilities, though. So, for example, the Nashville mass shooter, Audrey Hale, was rejected by her Christian parents who couldn't accept she was gay and trans. As cops reveal, she also planned to shoot relatives. So, some people are saying that it might be based on rejection from her parents or from his parents. That's a possibility. This would be unrelated to being radicalized by trans ideology or suffering from gender dysphoria. This would be not being accepted by your parents. So that's like, it is related, but it's not like the same thing. You know what I mean? So that's possible. There's also another possibility here. Is this it? Oh yeah. Nashville shooter Audrey Hale was heartbroken over the death of a friend she was infatuated with. So, if you have a friend, maybe you're in love with them, the friend dies, maybe that also drives you into a depressive spiral. All right. So, hold on. Someone's saying misgenerative. I'm reading what it says here. Okay. The news media has had no problem calling this person a she for whatever reason. I'm just reading their headlines. Okay. So there seems to be other possibilities here of just people, this person having tragedies happen in their life and they've decided to take it out on children, and the fact that they're trans is just incidental. That's also possible too.
Flamingo says if the manifesto comes out, it's full 1488. That is, then I'm convinced we live in a simulation.
Oh my god, flamenco. Okay, give me a second here real quick. I'll take away the screen. Let me quickly find the rest of it. Okay, hold on. I'll put this here.
But Dev, it's all pointless if we don't say it's explicitly because they're trans, therefore they're crazy. And being trans caused them to be a mass shooter, then we're just coping, okay? We're not affirming these guys' worldviews.
Okay, see, so the issue is that could actually be true.
Yeah, it could.
But the big problem is, why isn't
it wasn't?
So the big problem is, why is it not the case that every trans person isn't a shooter? Like, if gender dysphoria always makes you crazy and always makes you violent, how come we're not seeing trans shooters fucking everywhere? We don't seem to be seeing that. Now there are like other events, right? So for example, let me just grab this here. Where is it? Where the fuck did I put it? Hold on. Okay. Here. So for example, just give me a second, guys. That's right. So I'll just hold on, chat. Sorry for this little side. Okay, so here I don't know if you can see this. So I'll show it to you again, Lilith. I got to reshare it every single time, guys. Sorry. Okay, so why? Okay, so for example, there was another shooter recently, and in their manifesto, this is a trans shooter, pointed out Vosh is a terrorist, Lauren Southern is pathetic, Donald Trump is a con man. Okay, so this is another trans shooter recently. This happened about 2 months ago. Trans butcher charged with sexual assault and abduction of an 11-year-old girl after disappearance sparked major police search. Okay. This is a 53-year-old man who has decided to transition to Amy George after getting caught butchering the first child, and has now done it again. This is
deserve to go to
shut
prison.
Up quartering. This is a quartering video. I haven't looked into the story yet. This is just I haven't watched this video yet, but it seems like there is a trans person has kidnapped a professional swimmer, and demanded a ransom. Okay, I don't know what the truth is about this story. I haven't watched this video yet, but there are at least articles that he references. A terrified Gaines was forced to barricade herself inside a room for around 3 hours at San Francisco State University after a group of activists ambushed her. Okay, so the point that I'm getting at is, we can find instances of trans people doing illegal shit all day long. Of course we can. But in terms of the actual statistics of how often this happens, it does not seem to be the case that just because you have gender dysphoria, you are always going to be a violent person that breaks the law. That just doesn't track with the numbers.
I think we have to look at the proportions too, like the proportions of transgender people in the population and the crimes that are committed by trans people. Because we all know, like, there are trans people who break the law, who do horrible shit. Like, nobody, not even the wokest people, will deny that. Well, maybe aside from
Maybe the
some
wokest
super
people.
woke, maybe
Yeah.
the wokest people will deny it. I DK.
We will get to that point. I have lots of woke people denying. Don't worry, I have it. I have the receipts.
I am sure. I am sure. Like so like but still, it's just like when we're looking at just like shooters, for example, like most of the ones that we've known, like the statistically, like the ones that are known to be a mass shooter, like we could probably just like most of them are not trans and not motivated from being trans.
Well, I guess the question then is like, what's the per capita comparison, right? Because obviously there's
Yes.
way more cis shooters than trans shooters because there's not that many trans people. I haven't looked into this, but I think I saw something in passing that basically per capita it's on par, which is what you would expect if that is what you would expect if having gender dysphoria didn't actually affect whether or not you become a shooter. Then that makes sense, you know, that it would be on par per capita. Okay. So, as always, because this is a shooting, you have a section of people who exclaimed that the source of the problem is gun access. That's what it is. And that it's time to take away the guns. Because there's always, after any shooting, doesn't matter what demographic we're talking about, there's always somebody who says it's the guns. I'm sure you're used to this. You're an
That's to be
American, Lilith.
expected. Yep.
So, let me bring that up. Yep. So, let's see. Marjorie Taylor Greene just blamed the Nashville shooting on hormones like testosterone and medications for mental illness. Again, this could be, but we don't know. However, this person says, enough! It's the fucking guns! Every nation on the planet has mental health issues. What most of them don't have are guns. So, he's blaming the guns. Let's see here. Let's see. 6 are dead in Nashville. Let's revisit how much the Tennessee GOP loves guns. Jesus, that's a bit cold to say. But, all right, MSNBC. There's, oh yeah, this is an aged meme, a meme that aged poorly. A mass shooting has taken place at the Covenant School in Nashville, Tennessee. The school teaches preschool through 6th grade. 4 are dead. The shooter's been killed. This is from before we knew that the shooter was trans. And this person says, "Thanks GOP," with the comic. Good thing he's not a drag queen, right? And it's like, okay, so I know the shooter wasn't a drag queen, but there's something about this post that aged exceptionally poorly. Of course, this is insane. This is coming from an American first rightoid. If you identify as transgender and or are undergoing hormone therapy, you should not be allowed to legally purchase a firearm. So, and then, are you curtailing the Second Amendment? For the severely mentally ill, yes. This is the first time in, I think, fucking history that I have seen a rightoid want to curtail the Second Amendment for mentally ill people. All right? Usually, if it's like a mentally ill, cis, heterosexual white guy who shoots up a school, they're like, the guns aren't the problem. We can't curtail the Second Amendment. Clearly, it's just it's a medical illness, but we can't use medical illness to curtail the Second Amendment. But now that it's a trans person doing it, oh my God, curtail the Second Amendment. Like, this to me is kind of insane. All right? The fact that this person would, the right loving their guns so much is now completely like, yes, daddy government, take away the guns from people that I deem shouldn't have them. Like, that's insane to me. This is a garbage take. This is a fucking garbage take.
I just want to add, like, if you are undergoing hormone therapy, you should not be allowed to legally purchase a firearm. I wonder if she is against banning, like, menopausal women from obtaining.
Or like older guys who have like testosterone. Yeah.
Who have testosterone deficiency. They're undergoing hormone therapy. Like, And that's not even getting into just like the hypocrisy. It's like,
Flamenco says Charlie
second meaning
Kirk.
for me, but not for thee.
Yeah, exactly right. Flamenco says Charlie Kirk and Jack Posobiec also said this. Oh shit,
Yeah.
Flamenco's been flagged off YouTube for now. Oh, R.I.P. dude, I'm sorry.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Flamenco.
Not even 2,000 likes. No, okay, Wes, I'm not painting all rightoids with the brush of this person, okay?
No, obviously not.
Yeah, obviously not. I'm saying this person and anyone who agrees with her is retarded. All right? Is retarded. I think we can, like, if and you know what? If you think this is stupid, then you are on my side because this is fucking dumb. Okay? What is this one here?
There are some people in your chat saying based. I don't know if they're being ironic or not, but
I
hey,
don't know.
I think they're being retarded too.
Okay. Of course, you have people on the left rallying for gun reform because that's what they always do.
Oh, they could be joking about like banning gun access for menopausal women. That I think they could be like, leaning into that joke. But ultimately, shall not be infringed.
Yeah, shall not be infringed.
If you're against like red flag laws, you should be against what this woman is saying.
Mm-hmm. And yet, a lot of these are just people saying like, "Why aren't we banning guns? Why aren't we banning guns? Why aren't we banning guns?" It's all the same stuff. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, Wes says that you are desperate to find macentrism take. Cease. It is cringe. No, it's not about desperate to finding centrism. It's desperate to finding the truth. Okay? If I find a group of people on the right saying the wrong take, those people are wrong, and them being on the right has nothing to do with it. The actual... Okay, I'm a partisan towards truth. There is no left or right. There is truth and falsehood, and that's it.
But Dev,
Yes?
my red team, my blue team, my enemy team bad.
Oh my god, what is this? What is this leftism for you? Okay, let's listen in on this nonsense. I want to see.
School shooting here in Nashville. If you haven't heard, there was
Flamenco said
another school
Razorfist had a
shooting
base
here in
take
Nashville
that any
today.
talk of
I'm
banning
devastated.
firearms for a mental illness are useful idiots or feds. You
Yes,
know what?
of course.
That's true.
Yep, that is true. Yeah. It's very easy to just like unilaterally declare somebody to have a mental illness because you don't like their politics, like oppositional defiant disorder or some bullshit like that. And like it's so I got to do a video. There's a book that I read. I think it was called The Therapeutic State, where basically it's the weaponization of mental health to like destroy people. I got to do a video on that at some point.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like, and it could just as well be turned against you as well. Like, if you say, "Oh, I don't want trans people to have guns because they're mentally ill," well, what about people who are depressed, or people who have like bipolar disorder, or people who have like ADD, or like even if you want to go like the Reddit atheist route, what about like Reddit atheists could be like, oh, we should ban guns from people who worship the Sky Daddy, who have imaginary friends, as they would say. Like,
hey, actually, Arch is here. Do you want him to join us? He can give us the if you want on, you can just toss me a DM, Arch. You can come on and chat with us. But here, I'm gonna play this video. All right, let me play this video here. I think you can hear it.
If you haven't heard, there was another school shooting here in
we got
Nashville
Flamenco
today.
on too.
I'm
if he wants to
devastated
come.
for the kids.
Not if he's banned. He has to stay off. If he's banned, he has to. Yeah. Okay. Let's watch this though. Finally. Okay. Here we go.
If you haven't heard, there was another school shooting here in Nashville today. I'm devastated for the kids. I'm devastated for the families. I cannot and also can believe that this continues to happen. Kids deserve to go to school and come back home. Kids deserve to grow into adults.
Okay.
This unnecessary violence and gun violence is a direct result of not having enough gun control and gun laws.
Oh my
God. I know it's because recently the Tennessee lawmakers and Governor Bill Lee have been focused on banning drag queens and banning drag shows and not banning guns. But you know what? Drag queens don't kill people. And if I was a parent right now, I would feel a lot safer handing my kid off to a drag queen.
So drag queens might not kill people, but this shooter was trans. All right, like this is one of those like didn't age well takes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, dude? No. West says you find literally millions of people on one side advocating for something horrible, and you find a handful on the other. How about I just focus on all of them? I'll just focus on all of them. How about the two sides are the right side and the wrong side, and I'll focus on the ones that are wrong, regardless of what their affiliations are.
You've already brought up like people on the left saying retarded shit on this.
Oh yeah,
case
and there'll be more.
and
There'll be more.
you got way more coming too. So it's like,
listen, I don't know if you've seen this, but Reddit. There's a subreddit. It's a LGBTQ positive subreddit. They are organizing a buddy system for worried gun owners to help them purchase firearms, even though even for people who the law has actually currently prohibited from getting firearms because of mental conditions. So they're like, listen, on Reddit, we're going to organize. Do you have psychosis, but you're also trans and you can't legally own a gun? On there, this subreddit is letting you like buy a gun from somebody. It's like, well, if you're going to do this sort of thing, don't fucking do it on Reddit. Like, you retards. This is a yikes. Like, dude, you guys are gonna get fucked. Damn.
For legal reasons, I'm not gonna comment on it, but like
too
much. I feel like gun control is cringe, and
here I'm gonna add Arch. We might need to like yeah, we'll have to here. Okay. We'll have to drop the call and come back, so BRB. I'm calling him, guys. I'm calling him. Hello again, Lilith. Welcome back.
Hello. And I'm back.
As always, guys, we will read super chats. We will read them for sure.
Is Arch here?
He's not picking up. I guess. Hey Arch, how's it going, man?
Hello.
What's the scoop? Give us all your transphobic takes.
No, I just came in at the end of the conversation, so I didn't hear. To be fair, but no, like if somebody's actually literally, because we need to define insanity in that case. Because if somebody's like sitting there like talking to the fucking deer on the wall, don't give them a gun.
Yeah.
But I have yet to see any. Like I know that I don't know enough about this, so tell me when I'm wrong, Lizzie. But like hormone therapy does change some parts of biology, but I don't think it changes like brain biology. At the very least, not to the point where you are. What's the word? Crazy?
Yeah. I know, yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene made the claim that if you go on hormones, it changes your brain enough that you automatically are crazy. And it's like, I don't know about that. That sounds a bit much to me. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's true.
Because if that was true, because there exists testosterone pills for men too, so do we consider that to be hormone therapy?
Mm-hmm.
Look, there could be an argument made that estrogen can turn you into a cock-hungry bimbo.
Jesus
for
Christ,
some.
Jesus. Oh, okay.
I know, I'm being spicy.
That actually completely explains you. I get it now.
No, I'm the exception. I am not a cock-hungry bimbo.
I don't believe it for a fucking second.
Cock-hungry non-bimbo, I'm sure.
So Arch, here's what I was saying earlier, right?
Look, I have to lighten up the mood of
No, I understand. This is
like a really shitty topic.
It's going to actually get worse once we get there.
I don't. Yeah, like Arch is saying, like hormones doesn't actually change your psychology all that much. Like it can have effects, but it's not gonna like turn you into like a crazy person.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, people are saying, Lilith, Your porn videos aren't secret. You've been discovered. Okay, hold on.
Oh
Here.
no.
Let me actually put down my argument. So, Arch, when we talk about, for example, the Buffalo supermarket shooter, if you remember that event, this was a white guy who wrote a white supremacist manifesto, and he clearly also had mental problems, and he shot up a supermarket full of black people. The conversation you can have there is, well, was he influenced by white supremacist ideology? Yes. Was he also influenced by poor mental health? Yes. And you can tease out those two factors and discuss how both of them independently operate. But when we're talking about this event, because this is a trans shooter, if we talk about ideology and mental health, they are necessarily intertwined this time because being trans comes with mental illness. So it's a harder conversation to have, and I don't quite know how to feel about it just yet.
Well, again, we need to kind of circle back to the idea of mental illness and the definition of it and the minutia of it, because mental illness is not one big umbrella. Like, you can be depressed. That's a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
You could also be homicidally insane. That's a mental illness. But there's a bit of a gap between the two.
Yeah, distinction is pretty important.
Yes, like being a little bit sad on occasion is certainly one thing, but also having constant, I forget the terminology, but when your thoughts literally force you to do something and they're saying, I don't know, rape your mother, for example, again, there's a
Are
gap.
you talking like schizophrenia?
The idea of the voices speaking to you. Because there are people who have compulsions to do things that are actually like properly compulsive. It's not an urge, it's that you have to do this or you go crazy.
Right, like
Yeah.
the demons told me to do it type of stuff.
Kind of, yes. It's
Mhm.
rare, luckily, but it does exist.
Right. Yeah. So, I guess the question I had was, is it possible for somebody to only suffer from gender dysphoria and have nothing else, and the suffering be so great that it causes them to shoot up a school? I'm not sure if that's possible. It might be, but I don't think so.
You would have to add on outside effects, but the thing is that can also happen. If you are a person who suffers from gender dysphoria, and you also live in the real world, because we can't remove that from the context, you might easily be radicalized in the same way that somebody might be radicalized towards white nationalism. Because if you are told, okay, well, you see, actually, there's a genocide going on against you, like everybody hates you, like the institutions hate you, the school hates you, the government hates you, then you could absolutely call that a cause to shooting up a school. But it would be a step too far to say that that was caused by the gender dysphoria.
Right. Yeah. So because we are going through the various possible motivations, and the manifesto still isn't out yet. They are taking their sweet time in releasing it. But one of the possibilities is
so.
Yeah, one of the possibilities is radicalization by trans ideology stuff. It could also be radicalization by anti-trans rhetoric. Like we talked about how the Tennessee state legislature was passing some, in my opinion, too strict anti-trans laws, and that could very easily radicalize someone to do this. Right? They might see that this is their only way of getting back at the system that is oppressing them. We also went over a few articles where the person had a romantic involvement with one of their friends, and that person died. The person's parents rejected them. So there's a bunch of different motivations that could be happening here, and they're probably all happening. Frankly, it just seems like this person did have a pretty shit life. Like a bunch of things hit him all at once.
Yep, and that's the thing too. As the old saying goes, humanity is but 3 meals from anarchy. It's the same thing here. Like, you get shat on for long enough, odds are you're gonna do something about it.
Yep. So let me just pull out what I've got next here real quick. There's one. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Here it is. So let's go over the last couple motivations. Wait, nope. That wasn't it. Jesus Christ. Okay. This is the last time I ever have Dave organize sources for a fucking stream. For a
But
fucking
Dev, you
stream.
just praised him.
I know I just praised him. I take it back. I take it the fuck back. Where the fuck? I can't fucking find it anymore. Shit. I'm sure I'll get it. Here. Let's go over the next little bit though. So
they are evil.
Oops. Okay. All right. Here we go. And here we go. There was something about an April 1st Trans Day of Vengeance that seems to have been canceled because that talk about a blowback, you know? Wasn't it? Okay. It wasn't Lilith, you might know this better than me. It wasn't originally a Trans Day of Vengeance. What was it called? Was it Trans Day of Acceptance? Or Trans Day of Inclusivity or something like that, right?
I actually don't know that much about this one.
Okay.
Like, I've heard, like, some sources that are saying this is, like, an op, like, a poll op, and I've heard some people saying this is, like, a real thing that people are claiming, like, they want to happen. But I was just, like, really busy with my life to basically pay that much attention about it. And I didn't hear about this until after Nashville happened.
Yeah, so one thing I've noticed is that, like, real people in the real world don't care about all these made-up fucking holidays, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, oh, it's a day today of something. Oh, all right, sure, I guess, you know? But no, there's apparently some sort of really positive trans day that was supposed to be on April 1st, and then it got changed to the Trans Day of Vengeance after the shooting.
Actually, I think there was it was like a Trans Day of Remembrance.
Remembrance.
That happened on March 31st, and that's completely separate from the Trans Day of Vengeance. I think I think that's like the extent of it.
Yeah, so this was posted.
And I think the Trans Day of Remembrance is supposed to be for, like, remembering, like, the trans people that have been, like, either killed by hate crimes or, like, or just couldn't go through with, like, the strenuousness of life and whatever. And I thought that was, like, the thing about it.
Okay. Well, from the Trans Radical Activist Network, we saw We Need More Than Visibility. Trans Day of Vengeance. Stop the trans genocide. On April 1st at 11 a.m. Assemble at the Supreme Court. Wear a mask, bring a buddy. You know, they're ready for protesting. Or rioting, depending. This is...
The thing is, like, if that is real, which I don't know, I've only seen this, like, once.
Okay.
That speaks to something about the mindset of the person who wrote that. Like, Trans Day of Vengeance. Stop trans genocide. Imagine the white supremacist variant of that. Like, you've got to feel pretty bold about your position to write something like that.
Yeah, can you imagine? You know, white replacement, the White Day of Vengeance. Everyone show up at the Supreme Court with your weapons and your face masks. Holy shit.
White Day of Vengeance. Show up in front of the, like, government building. Like,
that would be
there
wild.
would be police from here to DC.
Yes. That would be fucking insane. So this, here's the thing. Even this though went over so fucking poorly.
Oh, right. Like, that's why I thought some people speculated that this might have been a prank, because it was scheduled to happen on April 1st, April Fool's Day.
That's true. Yeah, it might have been like maybe it's It's actually just like an April Fool's joke, just to make trans people like look fucking weird. Well, is this a real group, the Trans Radical Activist Network? Let me just quickly look them up.
I thought it was. I looked at them and they seem to have some stuff, but
I mean, I could definitely like picture it being real, and morons are saying "cope." All I'm just saying is I don't know enough about this.
Yeah,
but, like,
I don't know enough about it either, to be honest. I don't know.
Arch said the exact same thing, and you guys didn't say he was coping. You guys are just like.
There are some people that just hate you, Lilith. I know, but most people
are just hating
most people aren't that.
Like,
most people aren't that.
I don't like whatever.
Okay, so. Yep, this ain't cool.
Like Arch literally said the same thing.
Hold on. This was actually deleted off their website. Is there a saved version? Let me see.
I can see why. From what I could find, this seems to be like a grouping of several different smaller groups, and they do seem to be real. They don't look like they were made up, but
yeah, like
this day and age,
groups,
who the fuck even knows?
Yeah, so this is one of the groups that were attending was Our Rights DC, and after this shit went viral, they locked down their accounts because of course they did.
Because of course they did. I would too. Like, I feel like what happened was they made this in their echo chamber. They hyped each other up and like, yeah, release that. And then they went to bed and they woke up next morning and like, fuck.
Oops. That's a big oops. Oh, Artemis just donated and said Arch is coping. I got you, love.
Okay. Well, I guess thank you. Fucking hell. But...
Okay.
No, I could definitely like picture it being like real. Like this is. I wouldn't doubt it if it was.
Oh yeah, there's some crazy.
It could just be like a very like unfortunately timed and unfortunately named event thing going on.
Oh,
this actually is not happening to cripple threat to life safety. Yeah, I fucking imagine.
Yeah, so
I really do.
the group that planned the event said this action is not happening due to credible threat to life and safety. Yeah, but you are the threat, guys. Like, you guys are out here saying the Trans Day of Vengeance. You're the threat to life and safety here, okay?
Even assuming that was just a spicy take to rally people and they would have done nothing wrong, etc. For once, I can see the argument because this was days after somebody shot children. Like, I wouldn't leave my house either, frankly.
Yep. Our Rights DC.
This is not the time.
So that lockdown account, Our Rights DC, said, this action will not be taking place due to a credible threat to life and safety. The threat is the direct result of the flood of raw hatred directed towards the trans community after the Tennessee shooting. Individuals who had nothing to do with the heinous act have been subjected to highly serious threats and blamed. You know what? There is a part of this is true. There's definitely, you can definitely see random trans people getting blamed for the shooting, it's fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. These people are actually threatening, though. Like,
yes.
Oh fuck. These people are wild. Okay, what's the other? Let me just quickly. I'm gonna take this away. I'll take this away. There's one other motivation that I have before I try to find my missing motivation. Oh yeah. So let's get the boomer takes. All right, we got some boomer takes here, guys.
Let's go.
There we go. And share with the chat. So there are some boomers who are saying that this is anti-Christian hatred, because I think the right has realized the importance of weaponizing IDPOL when fighting an enemy that also weaponizes IDPOL. So let's just, we're not gonna watch all this. Let's see the boomer take here.
You have a transgender person that was finally pushed so far and traumatized so much by the Christian conservative right that they snapped. They did the unthinkable, the unfathomable, and they murdered children. And now that very group of Christian right conservatives will use that transgender person as a poster for why transgender people are evil and need to be eliminated, even though they created the environment that allowed that monster to develop. They are equally responsible. And this is the methodology this entire country has been built on since the beginning. We did it to the indigenous. They were labeled as savages because they wanted to protect their way of life, their land, their lives. We did it to black people and continue labeling them as angry and violent because they didn't want to be enslaved. And then anytime a marginalized group puts together enough organization and wherewithal to gain real political power, our government goes in and absolutely decimates them. They did it to the Black Panthers. They did it at Rosewood, Tulsa, and so many more.
I gotta admit, I didn't expect a woke boomer, but now we have a woke boomer here. Okay. The issue is that, like, she's saying some stuff that's correct, but it's very clearly one-sided. Like, the Black Panthers were not good people. All right. I know the government didn't treat black people very well for a good chunk of America's history, but the Black Panthers were not a group of just, happy hippies who didn't do anything wrong. They were also pretty bad.
As the history person in the room, I also have certain objections to the idea that the Indians were just minding their own business.
Yeah. But anyway, let me just jump here. All right. So this is from an actual Christian perspective. The media just stopped caring about this shooting when it was later discovered that it was a target on Christians. 3 children and 3 adults died in the massacre. The same day, a protest happened in Oklahoma City for trans rights or else, with guns printed on their shirts. Trans activists have declared a war on Christians. They were celebrating Audrey's actions on social media to the point that they wished she had killed more. It takes an act of true evil to point a gun at a defenseless child's head and murder them, traumatizing young children for the rest of their lives. Transgender activists are becoming terrorists. We have to keep pushing back. So, it is entirely possible that the shooter actually had an anti-Christian agenda. But, man, there is some point at which your own bad behavior does create the monsters that you have to stare down. I'm not saying that is all and only what happened here, because obviously not. Nobody who got shot up deserved it. Let's be smart about this. You can very easily make the case for trans radicals attacking Christians and hating Christians because they're Christian. But you can also absolutely find instances of Christians attacking trans people because they are trans and hating trans people. Any group can be radicalized to hate any other group. It just might be the case that this time it was a trans person hating Christians. That's possible.
Correct, but I will come to the Christians' defense here, because the idea of the Christian conservative, which was an absolutely tremendous censorious force back in the day, it has been thoroughly neutered. Like, yelling at them, bitching at them, yelling at them on social media. This is things they can do. But the difference in radicalization in terms of violence here, I think, is rather clear-cut.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely find shooters who have justified their actions with religion, and they've appealed even not just Islam, but they've also appealed to Christianity and said, I'm doing this. However, the mainstream Christian establishment will immediately disown them and say, no, you don't speak for us. No, we don't approve of this. No, this is not what God and Jesus intended. The speed at which various trans organizations jumped to disavow this person was a lot slower from what I saw.
Yes. There's also there is a point to be made there as well when they say, God, they're making themselves... How do I put this in a way that doesn't get me banned off YouTube?
Well, it's my channel, so don't worry about it, I guess.
Years ago, I made the argument that Muslims were doing a fine job of getting themselves hated because of the way they presented themselves, because of the way they spoke, the way they didn't want to integrate, etc.
Mm-hmm.
We are kind of seeing something along the same line here, where you have certain elements of the left, and I'm not going to say trans people, because it's not the same. Like, LGBTQ and trans and gay, I do not consider to be the same organizational group, shall we say?
Right, yeah.
But when you do have people are going like, yeah, well, we need to fight, we're being genocided, walk around with little AKs and the trans flag, and they go like protect trans kids, and it's always a weapon or a knife or something. It's very easy for your opposition to then point to that and go, well, I mean, look at you.
Yep. Hold on. Titanium says, Dev, you said that about Scrump during the election stream. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I don't know what that's in reference to. Sorry. Now there were some people in the chat coping and saying that Christians never do this sort of thing, and it's like, come on. Everyone's done this. Every demographic, every group has had a violent radical who has committed violence in their name, and then the main of that group gets slandered with it. Everyone has that, man. Yeah, Christians don't. No. It's good that the rest of the Christians say, "Hey, hold on, this is too far. This is not good." That's what should happen, and that's what should happen here too.
I will also say that the Christian argument against it is more convincing simply because Christianity has changed far more with the times. Whereas in the Muslim holy book, who can absolutely make several justifications for violence.
Yes, yeah.
In the New Testament of the Christian stuff, like it is very difficult to justify it. Yeah. And it's as you mentioned, it is not something that the larger organization finds particularly tasteful.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. So the chat is now saying that I'm whinging about both sides. No, you didn't listen to me. I said that while every group does do this, the Christians tend to disavow violence that comes out of their camp when it happens. And this is a mark against, let's say, the trans activists. They took a very long time to disavow this, and some of them didn't. Some of them actually cheered it on. Okay? So I don't know how that's me taking an L. I'm completely correct on this. All right. Well, what do you think of the anti-Christian possibility here, that this might be a motivation?
Oh, definitely it's a possible motivator. Like, I believe there was like reporting that this shooter was graduated from this particular school that they shot up, right?
Yes.
And
that actually leads me to the final.
That could there's several different angles or possibilities that could arise from this. This person could have either because of their education and this Christian school became radicalized against Christianity for whatever reason. Or there's also the possibility that something happened at that school that caused them to take that school as the target, be it bullying or purely speculation here, but maybe something happened and that caused them to lash out. Or it could, like I said, be against just purely anti-Christian stuff. This isn't the justification at all for them. I wholly condemn this since day one, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just discussing the possibilities here.
So that actually dovetails well into the final possible motivation. Here.
Right, so I've got to excuse myself because I need to go and be a brony now.
Oh, are you talking to Kibbs?
I need to go play My Little Pony.
Oh, hold on, Arch. Give me 2 minutes because you'll want to hear this. Okay, I'll be very quick. All right. It came out over the course of the investigation that back in 2013, the school in question, and she would have the person in question was attending the school in question when this happened. That there actually was grooming by a confessed child molester named John Perry, who worked at the school. John Perry, we do know there was a bunch of stuff that was covered up and kept under wraps that happened at the school, and we still don't know the full story, but we do know that he molested at least a few children, and he also had sex with his own daughter.
Right.
So
that's
yeah.
I remember reading something about that on Twitter, and that's why I got the speculation of something could have happened to the shooter. This isn't justifying or like
Obviously not. Doesn't justify it.
sympathizing with the shooter at all. Like they took it out on children. That's 100% like not justifiable in any universe at all.
Yep. But it's not yet confirmed, but it is a possibility that the shooter was a student at the school when John Perry was actively molesting children there, and it was covered up. That's a possibility. I guess we'll know it. Maybe it's in the manifesto, and we'll figure it out when the manifesto is released. Had you heard about this case, Arch? This part of it?
No. That would potentially be a motivation. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a wild story that's still developing. You have to go and play. You guys are playing the My Little Pony mod for Hearts of Iron 4, right?
Yes.
Jesus, how does Kibbs rope you into this?
It's a weirdly good mod. Like, it's degenerate, but it's actually a very good mechanical mod.
Also, Kibbs said you're doing the fantasy football, right? It's actually yes. Fantasy football. Yeah.
Oh yes, it's it follows the rules of American style football nonsense, but with Warhammer races, orcs, dwarves, chaos, everything.
That sounds kind of wild. You know, if you needed more people, maybe I could join and scrounge up a few, but I don't know anything about fantasy football. Like I have no clue anything about. I don't know anything about regular football.
Well, it's very simple. The rules of Blood Bowl are as follows. You pick up the ball, you carry it to the goal. And if anything gets in your way, you hurt it.
Oh, okay.
Deaths are common in Blood Bowl. Injuries more so.
Is it like a tabletop thing, or like is it a game?
Yes, the old rules are just a tabletop game that they've converted into a digital game with dice, etc.
Oh, okay. Well, if you need more people, maybe we could figure it out.
Maybe it would be Blood Bowl 2, not 3, because 3 was terrible.
The new games are always worse, aren't they?
Yep. So luckily, Blood Bowl 2 is costs very little. I think it's even now on a 73% discount or something.
Oh, okay, that's actually pretty good.
We're going to wrap up the first league first, and then you can even watch some of our games on that. And if you're still interested, we will definitely love to have you on.
Okay, great. That sounds awesome. Lilith, make sure you don't skip out on Barrow Trauma next week, by the way. You missed a big adventure.
Yes, we missed you.
Yeah.
Aww.
All right, Eric, thanks for dropping in, man.
Yep, I'm going to go have sex with the horse now.
Oh, you're Vosh, actually. I see.
Yeah, Vosh.
Vosh.
I'm embracing his ideology slowly but surely.
Okay, see you later, man.
Yeah.
Arch is a good boy. I like him quite a lot. So yes, I did finally find there was a much larger thread that I've lost describing the exact details of this case, but basically I think it was uncovered in 2013, but it happened in 2012 that there was molesting that happened at this school that was actually covered up, and basically John Perry was kind of like, he was given like a sentencing deal or something, and I'll have to look into it more deeply, but it may be the case that the shooter was victimized by this person, and that could be a very powerful motivator as to why you shoot up the school. Doesn't excuse it, obviously,
yep,
right? Obviously, but it is on the table as a possibility. Oh. That's rough. Okay, so those are all the possible motivations that I've discovered. The trans ideology, radicalizing people, thinking that they are in imminent danger and they must strike back at the system. There's the anti-Christian stuff, that's a possibility. There's the victim of molestation stuff, that's the possibility. There's the some sort of destabilization brought on by mental illness that could be part of being trans or could be its own thing. That's a possibility. These are all possible motivations, and we just don't know which one it is yet because the manifesto has not yet been released. Wes,
And after some like idiots have twisted our words,
Yeah,
none of these things justify. None of
Obviously
these
not.
possibilities or possible motivators justify what they did.
Yeah,
Like,
so yeah, Wes is
and
saying
also the truth could also be like a variation of
all
all
of them,
that you
maybe.
brought up,
Yeah.
or some of it, or
I want to point this out real
that you
quick
brought up.
because Jess said, "Oh, won't someone think of the child murder?" I've said several times, so many times in this stream, that none of this excuses. Understanding is not the same thing as advocating for, okay? And
Yep,
Wes, I know you're smarter than that. You know exactly what I'm saying, so come on.
Yep, I've said the same thing since the
Yep.
start of this video.
So,
They kill children, and that's nothing, no matter how much excuses or motivations they might have. They're not a victim, and they're a monster. Fuck them. And if there's a hell, may they burn in it.
Safety Zoom says, "You are offering it forward just in terrible taste." I don't care about taste. I care about truth. What is the truth? We are looking at all possibilities. If that offends you, that is your problem, not mine. If a leftoid gets offended because I say trans ideology is a possible motivation, I don't care. If a rightoid gets offended for some other reason, I don't care. We are exploring the truth, independent of any sort of people getting offended by it.
In the absence of the manifesto, that's all we have.
Yep. And speaking of that,
like they might. There's also like the chance that they might never release the manifesto too, because like I think the Vegas shooter had a manifesto, didn't he? And like the cops just never released it.
Yeah. Might not have. Yeah. So let me just see. I'm going to read the super chats now, guys. At least the first round of them, because as I said, we will be showing some video at the end of the stream that will get this stream demonetized. So please support us with super chats before that happens. Every super chat up until that point, we still get. After that point, there's no more. So if you want a super chat, please do so now. Let's look.
Oh, you're gonna play the video?
I am. We're gonna react to it at the very end. Oof. So, but super chats first. Super chats.
I mean, we should probably like, I don't know. Well, I don't know how feel about like showing somebody like.
It's censored. It's censored. You don't actually see them die. It's censored. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's good that they died. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just worried about like
Killer
YouTube algorithms and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Emperor Creatine, $10. Hey Dev, it looks like some footage of Persona 3 Remake got leaked. It's got me pretty hyped. Original Persona 3 is almost as old as Resident Evil 4 and hasn't gotten much love. What do you think about Persona? I enjoy Persona. I haven't played 5 yet, but I remember playing a lot of 3 and really liking it. Which Persona had Chie? Was that 3 or 4? I think it was 3. Yeah. Chie Sakanada. No, that's Persona 4. Yeah. So Persona 4 was the Persona game that I played a bunch of. But Persona 3 is getting a remake. That sounds awesome. Okay.
I know some people might complain about the remakes, but I personally am all for it. Like, if a game is good, why not like make it better?
Yep. Okay. 30 shekels from Ian. Thank you. The shooter herself is also a victim of mass madness that is only getting more intense. Maybe, maybe not. That remains to be seen. $2 from Charlie for the Gramsci video. And you're gay. Stay sane, you two. Well, thank you. Did you see the Gramsci video yet, Naomi? Not Naomi. Jesus. Oh my God. I'm gonna get fucking crucified for that. Lilith. Lilith, did you see the Gramsci video yet that I made?
I have not. I've like I said, I was like at the concert, and I've been pretty busy with like.
You got to go see. I worked for like 6 months. You got to go see it. It's a great video. I worked for 6 months on it. You should go watch it.
I promise you, I will watch it as soon as I have the time.
Sounds good. 20 Chronor from Storytelling Champion. Thank you. I loved the newest video. The long videos are great. Thank you very much. If you guys tell Naomi, I'm gonna fucking okay. The chat's gonna tell Naomi now. All right. Black Kiwi.
Well, what if aren't there some people in our chat speculating that I and Naomi were the same person a while back?
Yep. So I've heard that you're Naomi, that you're Nicole, that Naomi has a dick. Like I've heard so much conflating just all the women I've been associated with over the years. There's
That's funny.
yeah. Okay. Black Kiwi, $5. I think the trans community is taking pointers from the right, not gonna lie. It's about time, if I'm being honest. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like saying the community, but maybe the activists. I don't know. Tyler Dunkerken for $2. Thanks for doing what you do, Dev. Glad I found you. Thank you, man. Ethan Rogers for $50. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you. That's quite a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dev, I'm noticing all the weird.
Thank you all at once, but still.
Yeah, Dev, I'm noticing all the weird semi/ex-friend slap fights you've been dragged into on Twitter. Do you ever reach a point where you second guess yourself? If so, how do you reground yourself and not get socially pulled into one hole or another? I second guess myself all the time, but I have a bunch of people around me who are willing to tell me the truth, at least what they view as the truth. So I don't think I get captured really, because people will tell me when I'm wrong all the time. In fact, I don't know if Wes is still in the chat, but he's one of them. Wes and I disagree all the time, but I like the fact that he's willing to tell me what he thinks is the truth. Will is in for $10. Thank you. Talking about this exact topic got me kicked out of 3 friend groups and blacklisted for transphobia. I think we're witnessing lots of radicalization. Yes, there's lots of radicalization. That's regardless what side you're on, definitely the truth. Definitely. Patrick Sloan for $5. What's your favorite chip flavor? Oh, Lilith, are you gone?
I'm still here.
What's your favorite chip flavor?
Oh, it's the purple one from Doritos.
What the hell's
I forgot
purple
what's called
jalapeno, maybe?
it's a spicy sweet chili.
Oh, sweet chili heat.
Yes.
That's black in Canada, but yeah.
I think it's a different one. I think I actually tried that one. Like, I bought it from Amazon because I was Canadian Doritos chip.
Okay, yeah.
And I like that one. I think it tasted pretty similar.
You know what? I think sweet chili heat's mine too. I think it's my favorite too. Yeah. $5. Common Cure. Centrist question. How much do you think the LGBT movement is some kind of communist subversion? And how much is it just people wanting equal treatment? I think most people just want equal treatment. There are definitely subversives in there, and they're going to try and direct the movement. But I think most people involved just want equal treatment.
Yeah. Most people just want to be themselves. I'm in that camp. Whereas some people are just we have to abolish capitalism or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Jiggy Calzone.
Okay.
$11. Getting this in before the cutoff. Hail Dev and the lovely Lilith. Yesterday, ChatGPT gave me a recipe for tuna ice cream. It helps distract from the notion that self-defense is slowly being outlawed. Jesus. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Tom Nook, $5. Tim Pool's Civil War is just like Chris Chan's Dimensional Merge. Oh my God, the Dimensional Merge.
But what if we could combine the two? The Civil War Dimensional Merge.
Mm-hmm.
To make a turbo autistic sort of theory. Whereas it's the dimensions will merge, Sonny Chu and Rick and Morty will become real. But also they're gonna fight each other.
Niz, $10. I can't stick around because I got errands, but honestly the shooting, as terrible as it is, wasn't what worried me nearly as much as the responses. It feels like the victim narrative is making people hostile. Yeah, there's there is a section of trans activism, and we'll go over it in the next segment, that cannot ever accept that they or their camp or their people are wrong, so they have to be pro this shooter. I'm going to show those people because it's fucking insane. And I think like that is radicalizing people like crazy. It's not
I
good.
agree. I agree. It's completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this shooter is like 100% not a victim, and
No, not a victim.
I'm like a very strong proponent of, like, no matter how hard you've been like treated and how much, even if you were like the most oppressed person in the world, like if you target children and like make them the people that you take your rage out on, then you're not a victim anymore.
Yeah. Fondue, $5. We don't know enough to say what the motivation is. I'll wait until the school releases the voting records of the kids. Oh my god, dude. Jesus. Listen, I like dark humor, but holy fuck. Noble 1776 for $10. Thank you. Hey Dev, have you seen the video of that Tennessee Democrat telling a Republican that he puts a brown face on white supremacy because the Republican in question is an Indian immigrant? Yeah, I saw that. That was like a fight in the Tennessee legislature. I think I saw that. Yeah, basically it was a brown guy who voted who's Republican, and he votes for Republican policies, and he's the brown face of white supremacy. It's so dumb.
Safety Zooms made a stupid comment. You were portraying it like the shooter could be a victim. No. I wasn't. You fucking moron. Like,
what was actually happening is that you can describe the bad things the shooter went through, and that does not mean that you consider the shooter a victim of their own shooting. All right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. 30 shekels from Ian. I don't think transitioning as a treatment has been established to be the optimal treatment. I mean, I think this is what I know Taftadge always says, and what I always say to you, Lilith, is that the evidence for it is weak, but all the evidence points in one direction. So there's some problems with the evidence, there's some problems with the methodology of the studies, but every time we do get a new piece of evidence, it all weakly points in one direction, which means that more likely than not, that's probably the direction. We should have better evidence for sure, but what we have right now is weak evidence showing that transitioning is a good treatment, and no evidence showing any other treatment working. So
yeah, I would have no problem with there being like more research is done on this, but like you said, most researchers like they all point to like one direction, like
yeah,
like on something like 70 to 90% alleviation in like suicidal ideation. So it's just like if antidepressant worked that well, like people would be calling it a miracle drug.
Yes.
Like if antidepressants we have today, I wish it worked that well. Like I can't only imagine.
Oh my
like
god. Snake Dude in the chat's like, the Arab bomber was also a victim, you guys. Good thing nobody said that, buddy. Good thing nobody said that. Okay. Fondue, $2. How would you control the rubber stampers? That's interesting. So the question there is, let's say you have a doctor who is not properly gatekeeping and is simply rubber stamping everyone who asks for hormones, and not even checking them over to see if they should actually get them as part of treatment, and just saying yes. How do you control that person? What would be the mechanism? I mean, obviously, if you discover they're doing it, you have to fire them, right? Obviously. But like, how do you discover they're doing it? There's probably like, you could look at like statistical anomalies. You know, if a location has X number of trans people getting prescribed per year, and that number goes up by like 5 or 10 times, maybe then you send somebody to look at the files and be like, oh, did you actually like? That's one way you could probably do it. You could probably like, if you suspect something, you could probably like keep an eye. Like, oh, this doctor seems to be like saying some weird stuff or has some weird ideas about trans expansionism. I think there are ways you could monitor the statistics to see if there's an anomaly, and then once you see an anomaly, you can investigate further. I think there's things you can do. $5, Ghost of Recon. The Dev, hormone blockers can be just as damaging as surgery. They're properly used for precocious puberty, not for a maybe transition later in life. Yes, so I know Lilith and I, you and I had this conversation like 2 or 3 years ago. I once believed that you could just put kids on blockers and just have them delay puberty till they figure it out. I don't think you can do that anymore. I think now we have enough data that shows that if you just delay kids going on puberty without them taking some sort of associated replacement hormone, you absolutely fuck them up, and you can't do that. So I don't believe in that at all anymore. I'm off that train.
Well, we've always known that there are side effects for puberty blockers, but the thing about puberty blockers is you're not meant to go on it forever.
Yes.
You're either supposed to go off of it and switch to HRT, or just go off of it and let your body's normal puberty take hold. If the person decides they're not trans.
Yeah. So I don't think that we should I don't think we should be blocking puberty I
feel like for short term, for some people, if doctors say it's okay, then they probably know more about this than I do.
Yeah.
But
I think I
don't think it would be good for a permanent or a long-term thing.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen this, but there are some activists who say that all kids should be put on puberty blockers until they can choose what puberty they want. And I'm like, that's fucking insane. That's nuts.
That's insane. I don't know how serious that type of shit is.
House of Has, $2. What about states taking the parents right away? Oh yeah, you already replied to that one, I think. What about states taking the parents right away?
I feel like a state telling parents, no, you have to transition, no questions. That would be bad. But the state also saying no transition or no HRT whatsoever. You have to force your trans kids to go through body horror of and just imagine finding a normal girl, just a normal cis girl, and injecting her with testosterone every week.
Yeah. That's the equivalent experience, yeah.
That's the equivalent experience of somebody who's a trans woman teenager who knows that they are trans and being forced to go through that. It's like what I went through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's would recommend. Almost didn't survive, and I would rather kids not kill themselves, trans or not trans.
Right. No, I agree with you. Yeah.
It's why stringent gatekeeping is necessary.
Noba Fan
ban is also bad.
Noba Fan for $2 says, my problem is the false positives. Tomboys are okay. Yeah, this is like the tomboy erasure, right? Where they're all being told that they're actually trans men. I think there's some truth to that, and I think that that's something we got to get a handle on. Over time we'll get more sophisticated ways to deal with this, but right now it has swung too far in the other direction, I think, when it comes to permissibility. And yes, they are taking away the tomboy GFs. Storytelling champion.
Yeah, the tomboy thing just goes back to the gatekeeping thing.
Yes, they have to be gatekept. Yeah. 20 Kronor, storytelling champion. Any books on politics you'd recommend for normies? Oh God. I think before you can talk politics, you have to talk psychology, which is kind of you have to understand why people think the way that they think before you can understand. Jonathan Haidt, The Righteous Mind is a book everyone should read because it is the subtitle of the book is Why Good People Disagree on Politics and Religion. It's so that book boils down basically moral senses and how different people are sensitive to different things. So some people have higher disgust sensitivity. Some people are more oriented towards liberty. Some people are more oriented towards loyalty. Some people are more oriented towards harm. and how these are all different measures of what a thing of what morality is, right? So, is a thing harmful? Have you betrayed your friends if you do it? Have you subverted legitimate authority if you do it? Is it disgusting? All right. Is it oppressive? There are multiple different ways to measure what morality is, and they all have a psychological basis. So that is a book you absolutely have to read. Get on the hype train. The Righteous Mind. The second book that I think you should read is called Thinking Fast and Slow, which is by Daniel Kahneman. And Thinking Fast and Slow is a book that describes how it describes the two personalities inside every person, the rational personality and the intuitive personality, and how they work together, how they fight. It's very important to understand Thinking Fast and Slow. That will also give you a great insight. And then I think once you've read those 3 books, you should read Carl Jung's Modern Man in Search of a Soul. Okay? Once you've digested that book, then I think you will have the proper underpinning to understand any political philosophy. Then you can move on to like political science books, because without understanding human psychology, why humans think the way they do, why we feel the way that we do, why, how our morality works. You have to understand these things, and like, what postmodernism has done to us spiritually. Once you understand this stuff, then you can understand any type of political philosophy. But if you don't understand this stuff, then reading political philosophy will basically just be you reading something that will convert you to those ideas. You will read communist philosophy, you'll be converted to be a communist. You'll read fascist philosophy, you'll be converted to be a fascist, because without an understanding of psychology, all of their arguments sound way more persuasive than they actually are. So, those 3 books are what you start with.
You're advocating to read those, but also be critical at the same time.
Yes. Casual Rocket, $5. What are your thoughts on the WHO saying dysphoria is no longer a mental illness? Yeah, so that's like a clear case of obvious ideological capture. Like, if a medical institution is saying that gender dysphoria is no longer a mental illness, like you're fucked. All right, you're so fucking wrong. I don't even like. I can't even dig into that any deeper. It's just you're wrong and like obviously coping and obviously engaging in some sort of like political subversion.
What's their basis for saying that? Because I haven't read up on that.
Well,
but I do disagree, because I do think like dysphoria is some form of like mental disability.
Yeah, obviously,
like,
right?
My body doesn't align with my mind, so. Mm-hmm. But if my mind was aligned with my body, there would be nothing wrong. So. I guess that's like my old simplest way of putting it.
Yeah, like at some point,
what's the justification behind that?
At some point, it just becomes like self-evidently true. It's like, well, Lilith, if you're not suffering from some sort of illness, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, then if I'm not suffering from any illnesses, then why am I even doing this, right?
Exactly, right? Like, at some point, it's beyond like prop logic. It's just like, oh, on the face of it, it's obviously true, right? It's like tautologically true. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. Just like, it's just something I have to deal with.
Yes.
And something I have to live with. So it's like.
So,
I think the biggest thing I think it's more important to destigmatize mental illness rather than just claim, oh, X isn't a mental illness. I think that's a far better path for, like, if
it depends on the illness.
Is a thing.
If you have a mental illness that causes you to fucking axe murder people, maybe keeping that stigmatized is a good idea. But I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at. Some mental illnesses probably should be destigmatized at least a little bit.
Yeah.
So, guys, I know we haven't read all the super chats yet, but I'm going to go back to the actual the actual continuation of the topic. I will take another break, maybe at the end, and we'll read the rest of the super chats. I just want to point out, thanks for all the support today, guys. And as I said last time, if you do plan to super chat, do so sooner rather than later, because as soon as we watch the video, we will likely lose the ability to receive super chats for the rest of the stream. We'll still get the super chats you sent us beforehand, but all the ones afterward, that'll be gone. So, let's continue on. If you don't mind. Let's see if I can find what I was...
I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be back.
Sure thing. How's it going, chat? What's up? We'll probably go raid Kibbs after this. And if you're not into his brony bullshit, my girlfriend and I, Naomi, we're going to be streaming some Uncharted later tonight. So make sure you stick around for that, eh? Make sure you stick around for that. In fact, I wonder if I can, like, make... Here. Hold on. Will it like destroy this stream if I set up a second stream? I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. Let's try it, I guess. If I were to click go live and then schedule stream Uncharted. It belongs in a museum. I'm going to call it belongs in a museum. And then I will set it. I'll make it private for now. Maybe I'll make it unlisted for now. You're back?
Yes.
Okay. I'm doing an experiment. Okay, it says no data. Okay. No, we're good. I think we're good. Because maybe I can redirect to my own stream tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay, that's what I'll do.
Go for it.
Oh, yeah. Naomi and I are going to play some games tonight. Okay, listen, I have to go to the washroom too, so you and chat talk for a few minutes, all right? I'll BRB.
All right. So, what do you guys think about Trump getting arrested? Apparently, he was indicted on 34 counts of felony. And to find out what rules he broke, you should Google Trump Rule 34. Also, I think there were some accusations about him causing inflation. You should also Google Trump inflation. Find out more. When are you going to sissified Devin? I'm gonna hatch his egg very soon. It's all part of my evil, Troon cell mentality, Troon maxing, egg hatcher scheme. And, we're gonna hatch egg dev any moment now, alright? It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the trans agenda. Lilith, you single? Well, I no, but I've had some on and off relationship thing going on. I don't want to get too much into it, but right now it's sort of like getting back on. But so I'm not like actively looking for other people. Hatch Kibbs, please. Oh, he wouldn't need my hatching. All right, Kibbs is already well on his way. A few months ago, he made art of himself as a pregnant cat girl. That dude's egg is ready to hatch. Ooh, very, very sus. Breed Kibbs. In good time. If I were to ever meet Kibbs, I would obviously be the top. And, yes, there will be lots of bussy breeding, I'm sure. What's your thoughts on bussy? Delicious? Deserves breeding? And, that's not everybody's thing. And, for those people, that's fine. Lilith deserves commitment for her OVA. Yes, the Lilith OVA very soon. We're gonna have our anime original ending, and Hope Chads will win. Okay. Doom Cells will be sad when we reach the ending and it turns out that it was all a dream, and Eren saves all his friends. Hey Lilith, did you see that Sargon post where he gets tricked into thinking Taftaj is a biologically female? That is pretty funny. I have not seen that. But I will have to maybe ask Dev to see if he has it. Lilith, do you support worshipping of the machine god? Yes, all hail the Omnisaya. The flesh is weak, and it disgusts me. As soon as I can replace all my parts, I will no longer be a man or a woman. I will be something superior to all that. I will be something above. I'll be like a hot android person. I'll be hot. Well, if you think post on Twitter make you think you're a bit crazy, you sound rather reasonable in the Tubcast. I play it up a bit on Twitter sometimes because, like, sometimes people will say stupid shit and I lean into it a bit. And like the global homo stuff, like or the LGBT colonization stuff, like.
Okay, I'm back.
That's definitely like me leaning into it because it's funny. Just like the egg jokes earlier. But hey, welcome back, Dev.
Yep. I'm sorry. I was gone longer than.
Yes, very based.
Yep.
We're gonna get our augments.
Yeah. So let's continue because Naomi wants to start Uncharted by 7 p.m. So I've got an hour and 20 minutes. Let's keep going though. Okay. Actually.
All right.
Okay. Hold on. All right. No, we're good. Okay. Let's go. Sorry, we're here. We're ready. Now is the time for cope.
Oh wow. We're about to get coping.
It's time for the copium. Everyone get your copium tanks, rev them up. We're gonna all cope together.
AOE is not happening, guys. Apparently.
Okay. Let's check out the cope. So, I know you don't like males of Reddit for obvious reasons, Lilith, but this post on males of Reddit is relevant.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay.
The fact that they are a gimmick account is already predisposed me to dislike them. But I'll keep an open mind.
So, we are now looking at coping regarding the shooting from trans activists who clearly have their own agenda here. Okay, so let's start here. Fuck the TN.
Like some people in the chat were saying, we were coping for simply not saying definitively that this is a true cell-minded mass shooter And
okay, so there actually is a joke here that I played into
Yeah.
a little bit on Twitter, and the joke is that the incel uprising is finally happening, only now it's all trans maxers. And it's like, if you know internet terminology, you know why that's funny, okay? But like, obviously, every event is more complicated than just blaming it on one cause and saying, "Oh, they're just crazy or they're just radicalized because my enemy political camp is evil." Like, there's obviously more to it than there's always more to it than that. Okay.
Yep. And
Oh,
like,
hold on. Someone's asking what a transmaxer is. Lilith, explain what a transmaxer is.
a transmaxer is okay. This is a whole different rabbit hole.
Yes.
But it's basically in a vein of incel ideology, where there's like the look maxing or I forgot what was the one with like the there was like the gain maxing, where it's just like you buff yourself up as much as possible.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
there's also
gains,
like
yeah.
I forgot what's the one where it's just like you get as much money as possible, like the bread maxing or whatever. I don't know. But in that vein, trans maxing or true maxing is an incel thinking that if they transition, they'll have an easier time getting to have sex than they would. Oh yeah, it's money maxing. Earlier. Basically, an incel transitions for the purpose of thinking it'll increase their dating pool, which is like retarded for the most part.
It's sometimes funny because like you see some,
but it is pretty funny.
Yeah, so I've seen pictures of like really ugly incel guys. They transition not because they have dysphoria, but they just do it anyway. They transition, and as girls, they're now cute girls. And they're like, "Oh, I've increased my social status because even though I'm trans now, I'm cute when I'm now a cute girl when I was an ugly guy before." And so I've actually upped my social status by transmaxing. And I'm like, wow. Talk about like how deep down the fucking rabbit hole do you have to be to do that shit?
Yeah,
So
people mentioned Christian. Christian would definitely be like a example of a failed transmaxing.
yes, transminning, more like it. Jesus.
Yes.
But so the joke is that the incel uprising has finally happened, but all the incels have transitioned, and so now they're all transmaxers. That was the joke that I made about this shooting. It got me a little bit of trouble, but everything I say on Twitter gets me in trouble nowadays, so fuck it. You know?
So there was a joke I was gonna make about this, which horrible event, not a joking matter. But there was like a even
as you laugh,
even though like the fact that this shooter is a trans man, a female to male trans man.
Yep.
Like wouldn't it kind of inadvertently like serve the argument that trans men are men? Because the vast majority of shooters are men.
Yeah. Well, I
think the only mass shooter, like female mass shooter I could think of was that chick who tried to shoot up YouTube headquarters.
Yeah, and just failed. Yeah, mass shooter of 0.
Failed spectacularly.
Yeah.
She ended up with a negative KDR.
So here's the thing, Lilith, is that makes sense, but that's also Marjorie Taylor Greene's position. She's saying that the testosterone transformed this person into a violent shooter.
I think she said like hormones transformed this person.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but the hormone in question was testosterone, so.
Like, yeah.
I want to see the fan art of like Lilith Lovett. No, Lilith Lovett and Marjorie Taylor Greene finally shaking hands on something.
Jeez.
Okay, so let's actually get into the cope. Let's actually get into the cope that I have collected for us to peruse. Okay, so the TN school shooter was trans. This person says, "I'm spiraling. This is the only representation that most people will have of us in the near future. I'm afraid. I'm hurt. Most of all, I'm angry. And of course, there is zero reason to break into an elementary school and kill these people. These 3rd, 3rd, and 4th graders. This fucking monster, I hope he died slowly and painfully. Okay, that's pretty good. This one says, they didn't need to address it in the article, especially not with everything going on right now. He was a school shooter. He was fucked up and killed children, but that has nothing to do with him being trans. So when it's negative representation, they're like, don't tell them it's trans. Don't do it. It's like, well, it's still part of the story. Like, you can't. Okay. Is this person actually trans or just self-ID and claiming to be, like that gay nightclub shooter who is suddenly non-binary? Why do people keep doing this shit? Either they're trying to cheat the system or trying to give trans people a bad name. Probably both. So with the Club Q shooting, it actually was the case that the guy was just trolling. He was just like, oh, this will get me, haha, fuck you. This will get me advantage. I'll just claim to be trans. Like, obviously, right?
Right.
But just
Whereas
because...
this one, it doesn't seem likely that was the case.
Yeah. So see, for me, self-ID isn't valid. So this is not a conundrum for me. I'm a trans medicalist. So I don't give a fuck about someone's self-ID. But for people who actually do care about self-ID, this sounds very hypocritical. Okay, what's next up on the list? Let's see here. Oh, yeah. If transphobes don't want to be shot, they can always just stop being transphobes. That's not very hard.
It was a horrible take in light of what happened.
Yeah.
These kids are not fucking transphobes. Yeah. They're fucking kids.
Okay. If you're trans, shooting a transphobe is self-defense. They want me and people like me dead.
Again, these are children.
Yes. But even if they weren't
even if they weren't children, even if they were adult transphobes, it would not be good to shoot someone outside of a self-defense situation.
Exactly, right?
The only time it is ever justified to shoot someone, it's self-defense. Mm-hmm. If somebody is breaking into your home, or somebody who's actively trying to hate crime you or assault you or whatever, that's like the only time.
Okay, so here's this take is kind of related to the possible sexual abuse take. Did Audrey Hale decide to partake in a tragic act of vigilante justice to try and bring attention to sexual crimes for which no one had ever been forced to pay for? Even if it was true, Audrey Hale didn't target the person who was doing the molesting. He just shot random kids. It's so dumb. Yep. It's like, this is some fucking cope right here. All right?
Like, bring attention. Shit. Like, there are far fucking better way to bring attention. Like, if they wanted to, if that's what they actually wanted, theoretically, wouldn't it be far better to shoot the person who committed those sexual crimes?
Yes, obviously. Yes. So this is like, this is ultra cope. This is giga cope. Okay. Next up, this person, Turf L's got banned for this tweet. R.I.P. Aiden. Wish he got more bigot hits. Like,
disgusting.
Yeah. That's fucking wild. Turf L's was rightfully banned for this take. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Fuck this. Oppressed minorities strike back, and if you don't want it to happen, stop oppressing them. People with nothing left to lose will sometimes not kill themselves, but instead become martyrs. See all of history. I won't pretend like this wasn't caused by the recent legislation in Tennessee. So,
Shooter is not a fucking martyr.
No.
They killed children. They're not going up to like somebody who's like
the lawmakers or people who are actually
I don't. They're like even. I'm not saying that's just fucking. It's just fucking awful. Like
yes.
What the fuck are these people huffing?
Yeah. Like, I don't even think it's acceptable to shoot lawmakers for passing laws that you don't like, unless those laws are designed to actually kill you, which in this case they aren't.
Yeah,
But,
like an argument could be made to like shoot Hitler
if he passes when he's passing the laws to like
when he was
yes,
passing the laws to like genocide the Jews.
that's not happening
An
here.
argument could be made that if you had shot Hitler after he passed the kill Jews law, then it would be in self-defense. But these are not even like on the same planet. These are elementary school children. I already said this a bunch, and I'll probably say it plenty more as we go through these actual cope.
Yes.
That these fucking morons are. I don't know. Do they just see Christian school shot up? Do they just think, oh, these are my ideological enemies?
Yep.
I
don't know if it's. I don't know if I have it.
We've seen some like horror take after like a Club Q where it's just like where we see like rightoids celebrating. Like
that was pretty grotesque.
Club holders getting those. This is just that, but like on the left, this is just grotesque.
So I saw one take. I'm not sure if it's in here, but I saw at least one person say that because the kids would grow up to be like oppressive Christians that would destroy trans rights, it's good that they die now. And I'm like, holy fuck, dude. Jesus Christ. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. These people forcing you to transition have names and addresses. Okay, that's kind of not related, though. Let's see what else. Got the trans rights with the guns. Transphobic, kill yourself. All right.
Based.
Jesus. Oh, yeah. Every day is the trans day of vengeance. All right, sure. Yep. Some of these
are just like trans people should be able to defend themselves.
And yeah. Some of them are not that far.
Some of these rightoids are like relating this to be like, they think trans people should arm themselves against people who want to kill them, and then they advocate for this. But
well, now they're here. They want to march on the Daily Wire headquarters. It's like, okay, well, good luck with that. Here, yeah. Okay, let's continue on. Then what's the next one? All right, hold on. I have seen literally no one make any excuses for the shooter. Dude, we're going over them right now. There are so many excuses for the shooter. There's so many people have been making excuses for the shooter is what I mean. There are so many. All right, okay, let's see this. Okay. This is from Turf L's before they got banned, okay? I do not condone or celebrate any kind of violence or harm against others. However, I believe that it's important to acknowledge the underlying factors that led Aiden to make the choices that he did. As a trans person myself, I know firsthand the pain and discrimination that we face in our daily lives. When laws are passed that can specifically target and harm trans people, it feels like there are no other options. Wow.
But the problem with that is, could you bring back the take that they were saying?
Their earlier take?
Yeah, their earlier take.
I think it was up here. Yep.
Wish she got more bigot hits.
Yep.
That's like completely not what you were saying in your tweet longer at all. Like you literally called the children that were killed bigots. So
yeah. So here.
Like you're explaining. There's no explaining out of this.
So they say, I also want to express my condolences to the victims of Aiden's crime. No one deserves to be harmed or victimized, regardless of their religion or beliefs. However, there's always a however, I stand by my statement that Christianity has no place in a modern inclusive world. While I understand that some may take offense to this, I believe that it's important to speak out against the harm that organized religion has caused to marginalized communities.
But these kids are not organized religion.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
There's no explaining out of what you said.
Yep. This person is fucking nuts. Let's see. I'm not wishing death. Aiden was abused and tortured by the state, and this was his only way to fight back. It's tragic, but so is the rapid calls for trans genocide. I don't think that... It's pretty disgusting what's going on here.
That's fucking gross. Like, this was not his only way of fighting back. Even just taking that tweet by itself, ignoring what they've said previously. You're excusing the killer, and there were a million different things he could have done than to shoot up children.
Yep. Okay, let's continue. Oh, okay. This has audio. I think you should be able to hear it. So let's listen in. This is from Breitbart News. They recorded this, but it's important to listen to it.
Every death is a tragedy, y'all. It's 7 lives.
Where's the clip?
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. I was like, he says every death is a tragedy, 7 lives. I'm waiting for the butt.
Well, no. Do you know what that's in reference to?
What?
Okay, so, the shooter killed 6 people, 3 kids, 3 adults. There was like
they're including the killer.
Yes.
Okay.
So 3 kids died, 2 teachers and 1 janitor in the shooting, and every person who's here at the state capitol who's protesting, they're all holding up 7 fingers on their hands. Look, there's 5 and 2, 5 and 2, 5 and 2. So all the protesters who protested this are saying that the shooter is a victim as much as the other victims are. So I'll play it again.
Every death is a tragedy, y'all. It's 7 lives.
See, 5 and 2, all of them. Yep, 5 and 2.
I'd say there were 7 victims.
Yep, they all say 7 victims.
Like, did these people just not know that
Look at this
7
girl.
included?
No, a lot of them know, because this person in the back here, this woman, is doing 5 and 1.
Some of them are doing 6. Yeah, there's that woman
there's a 5
behind her
and
is
1
also
right
doing
there.
6.
Yeah, there's a 5 and 1 there. There's a 5 and 2 there. So like some of them know what's going on here, but like 5 and 2. Some of them know what's happening, but a lot of them are doing 5 and 2. And the guy who is speaking.
Every death is a tragedy, y'all. It's 7 lives.
Yeah. So.
If they knew that the killer was included in that count, and they still held their hands up and said they were a victim, then that's fucked up completely.
Yep. This is rather distasteful. This is pretty bad.
Like, I would in no universe include the perpetrator as a victim.
Yep. Oh yeah, so a teacher of Audrey Hale was interviewed saying that Audrey Hale could have been a children's illustrator, as their artwork was whimsical and childlike. So this is like let's humanize this person. This is like the austere religious scholar, leader of ISIS article, if you remember that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and actually,
I mean, look, this Austrian World War I veteran who was a talented painter.
Yep.
That's how we're gonna remember.
That's how we're gonna remember him, eh? Just give me a second. So, by the way, if you want to see the whimsical, childlike artistry of Audrey Hale, all you have to do is go to their Fur Affinity account, where you can see the The pony vagina that they've drawn, because they've drawn a lot of it. Here's the whimsical artwork. There's a lot of furry porn on Audrey Hale's Fur Affinity account. I think it's still up, actually. But yes.
Knowing the internet, probably people fap to it after.
Yeah.
What happened in Nashville?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's next here? Oh, yep. No, we covered the close friend.
Oh, do you remember that other shooter that was that? I think it was like an incel shooter, where before he did that thing, he had like he was going through his phone and there was like a cropped version of a furry porn.
Oh yeah.
I think it was like Martha Speaks.
I vaguely remember this. Yeah. Okay, so you know what a die-in is, right?
Yes, I think like bunch of people like lying down on the floor and
yeah. So, just for the sake of the chat, so a die-in is a type of protest. It's like a lie-in where you lie down to obstruct something, but you show up in shirts that have bloodstains on them that imply that you've died. So, for example, when there's like a shooting of a black person that is unjust by the police, you'll see lie-ins a lot where activists will go in with shirts with bullet holes or blood and then lie on the ground and pretend like they're corpses. That's the protest. It's called a die-in. So there was a die-in by a bunch of trans activists in response to this shooting.
I don't know if like are they trans activists or are they like anti-gun like Democrats?
Well,
because I think it's also like a very familiar thing for Democrats. Like
yeah, they also do it too. They also do. But the upside down sign
shooting.
here, the upside down sign here says "Protect Trans Kids." So, when a trans shooter kills 6 people, and you decide to come in with "Protect Trans Kids" on your sign and then lie down like a corpse, this is some very tasteless messaging, in my opinion. Yeah. This man, there is an attempt to recast the shooter as a victim.
Are they protesting like the bill, or is this in response to the shooting? Because that OP didn't like mention.
No, OP it's Brandon Morse, so maybe he's just lying about the origin of the picture, but he says this is a protest after the shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, like, because there's also like anti-trans legislation going on in Tennessee, so
yep, it could.
I don't know if I'm willing,
but
I don't know if I'm willing to take this guy's word for it.
It might not be that, but it might be.
It seems a bit absurd for that many people to like come out in support of the shooter and to martyrize them. It feels more like a fringe, like Twitter terminally aligned.
Possible, yes. So the custodian, the janitor that was killed, was a black man. And this person asks, I think it's a good question, where's Black Lives Matter? Where's Reverend Jesse Jackson? Where's Al Sharpton? Where's Attorney Ben Crump? Where's all of the no justice, no peace chants? Oops, they only protest when it's a non-trans white shooter. So there's probably something to this. It's very easy to go protest in like a BLM style if it's white police, or if it's just police at all, or if it's a white person, you know. But the normal BLM spin cycle didn't rev up after it was discovered that the shooter was trans. And there's probably a reason for that. There's probably an ideological reason for that. Let's see here.
May you rest in peace.
Yep. R.I.P. Oh yeah, after the shooting, I think like a day or two after the shooting, Madonna announced a concert in Tennessee with all the money to go towards trans rights. It's part of her celebration tour. Now, the optics on this are terrible. Like,
why? I don't think it's in response to the shooting.
I think it is in response to the shooting, actually.
Is it? I mean, I could be wrong.
I mean,
is it? Because
let's see. I mean, she announced it just a couple days after the shooting, and it's part of what she calls the celebration tour, and it's going to where the shooting happened, and it's going to benefit trans rights. Like, even if not intentional, I think it's pretty poor taste. Like, okay, yes, you trans rights, fair enough. There are some things that need to be donated towards. There are some things that need to change. There's activist groups, okay, but like, man, I see people say all the time, don't use this tragedy for your political persuasion. Don't just try to exploit a terrible event. You know, can you put down the politics for a second and let people grieve? And now this is the same thing from the other side. Like, this is a bit much.
If it is in response to the shooting, then I would definitely agree it's in bad taste.
Okay, hold on. Wes says, Dev, my dude,
but it's just as likely that it could just be bad timing.
Wes says, Dev, my dude, you need to call out this child abuser. Who's the child abuser? Are we talking about Madonna? Is Madonna a child abuser? Was it this guy?
You gotta give him more context.
Yeah. Yep. Madonna announces new concert in Nashville to raise money for trans rights groups, not victims of the massacre. Yep, that's right. That's a bit. Yeah, she announced. She announced it like a day afterwards. It's like, come on, dude. Oof. Okay. The biggest concern about the Nashville shooting is that the media and police have been misgendering the shooter. Okay, we gotta check this out. All right, let's.
Aiden Hale. That's the name of the Nashville shooter. This video is about to be very uncomfortable for a lot of us. It's very uncomfortable for me to talk about, but we need to talk about it. Aiden did a very horrendous thing. Period, point blank. We need pew-pew reform in our country. But the way that the media and the police are misgendering and dead naming Aiden is quite concerning. It's also concerning that I had to go to the Telegraph from UK to actually get Aiden's chosen name. It's upsetting that constantly it is she, her pronouns. That is incredibly frustrating because even though they did this horrible thing does not mean that we get to do those things. That's a boundary, and we can hold people accountable without being transphobic, even for some of the most horrendous things. So while you're watching this, also watch for transphobia because that's very clearly coming out. Aiden Hale.
I mean, I guess, like, technically correct, but I have to say I don't care that much.
Yeah.
The person's fucking dead. And honestly, if we're talking about somebody who is notable and trans, oftentimes the dead name is notable and necessary for the story to come together anyway. So
I feel like it's pretty low on a priority. I mean,
yeah. Oh, hold on. Wes says, the one advocating for transing kids on your stream. That's you, Lilith. Are you the one advocating for transing kids?
No. I have the same position you have.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I literally just said I have the same position Dev has, where a blanket ban is bad, but also we need stringent gatekeeping for teenagers.
Go on, Dev. Defend the pronouns of the child murderer.
I feel like this guy's just an idiot.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the pronouns of the child murderer, to be honest. Whatever.
It's just like terminally online.
Yep. Yep. Here's the thing. So, I don't know if we'll disagree on this, Lilith. Maybe not. But, like, there are some trans people who take dead naming and using the wrong pronouns to be, like, the same moral weight as dropping a slur. Like calling a black person the N-word. And to me, that's like insanity. No, it's not. It's rude, but it's not like it's not the same level of rude, in my opinion. It's just not. Like you shouldn't do it if you're friends with a trans person. You should be nice to them, and you should use the pronouns they want because you're their friend, and that's the polite thing to do. But if you don't do that, yeah, it makes you kind of an asshole. But then they don't got to associate with you, and that's it. Is it the same thing as dropping a slur? No, it's not. I don't think so. Anyway.
And I feel like it's kind of pointless to argue the severity of the rudeness. It's just agree it's rude, and maybe don't do it.
Yep.
Right.
And no, I'm not going to argue about using the proper pronouns of the shooter.
If it's like a shooter or a Christian, like I obviously care a lot less.
Yep. Same. Don't care. Not a big deal to me. Oh yeah, and maybe Wes didn't hear my take before. So Wes, I want you to tune your ears in right now and listen. Here's my take. Okay? Hormones. First of all, surgery for under 18 should be completely banned. That's it. Hormones for under 18. So like, from start of puberty to 18, like 13 or 14 to 18. Hormones should be not blanket banned for everyone, but heavily gate-kept by a non-ideologically captured medical institution. And so we have an obligation to purge the medical institutions of those who have been ideologically captured. And then we can start making accurate determinations on whether or not underage people should transition because they have dysphoria that is not going to be alleviated in any other way as medical treatment. There you go.
Yeah.
There's my take. Now, if you think that I'm transing the kids with that take, then you didn't listen to what I said. Because I'm not saying that you should just blanket give every kid hormones. It's fucking ridiculous, obviously.
They responded with hormones for kids as child abuse.
Wait.
Bruh.
Snake
kids
Dude
go through hormones. Like,
hold on. Snake Dude for Life says, hear the take today before he changes it tomorrow because it's convenient. I do change my take sometimes based on new information. Obviously. But right now, that's what I think is correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, let's continue on. Oh, yeah. USA Today has accused the Nashville police of misgendering the transgender school shooter. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was like a little mini war over like what should we how we got to have like organizations sue other organizations for not properly gendering the shooter. Yep. USA Today isn't worried about dead children. They're mad because they say the cops misgendered the transgender murderer. Jesus Christ. 5 times. Hold on. 5 times CNN has misgendered them. No correction. A mass shooting is horrible. Misgendering does not make anything better. Who cares? Fuck. These people live online. Like, they live online way too fucking much. All right?
Yep.
This is the first time I've ever seen the media take the side of a mass shooter. I've seen a few of that too. Like, come on, guys, calm the fuck down here. Okay. This might be a crazy clip. All right, let's listen, okay?
They obviously didn't release a motive as to why she shot up the school, but I have a pretty good guess. What have Christians been doing lately? They've been banning books about LGBT. They've been discriminating against the LGBT. They are banning drag shows. So people are screaming, oh my God, it's a hate crime against Christians. But how about they are the ones that were bullying her first?
Today, in my criminal justice courses, we discussed the Nashville shooting. And thankfully, my students raised awareness around the fact that a lot of the media is misgendering the shooter. Which, why do we care? They unalived like 6 people, including children. We do not condone that awful behavior, so screw them and everything they're associated with, right? Wrong, because in my area of study, of work, we look at the why. The why, in my opinion, is just as significant, if not more so, than the what. And I can't help but think this trans man targeted a Christian school that he attended, that he may have had very negative experiences at. How much the anti-LGBTQ legislation impacted his mental health to push him to this point.
Just from a sociological perspective, looking at it on its face.
God.
Somebody who lives in Nashville, who is just top of the news for all these discriminatory bills, who identifies as male and I assume to be transgender, who has already now, as an adult, probably experiencing a lot of discrimination and hate because of these bills, but also has probably experienced this all of their life. People don't just go up and shoot up a Christian school, being the demographic that they are in the political climate that we're in, just because they felt like it. Like all of the other mass shootings, when all of these dudes like just did it for fun, or
fun,
they're anti-Semitic, or
My
nobody
God.
would fuck them, like those reasons.
It seems like he was an old student from that Christian academy. Also in Tennessee, where they recently banned drag shows in a law that is so vague. My wife, who wears men's clothes but identifies as a woman, could get arrested walking down the streets of Tennessee. So while I do not think what the shooter did was justified in any way, shape, or form, and they absolutely need help, could it be potentially that this person was transgender, and with all of the laws being placed, he was afraid that he was going to be ridiculed and put into a box, kind of like the school maybe did when he was younger and didn't want to be called what he was being called?
Jeez.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of yikes right there. There are people out here who are saying, yeah, killing kids is bad, but he was striking against the Christian school that oppressed him. And it's like, holy shit. No, guys.
Yeah.
This ain't the fucking take, guys. Oh my fucking God. Like, these people are nuts. I hope you agree with me on this one, Lilith. These people are fucking nuts.
I agree. It's like, I kind of don't care about what sort of trauma you've had if you start murdering
random kids who aren't even involved. Fuck.
Like, when you start targeting kids, like, you can have all the religious traumas in the world. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah, this is so. My God, my fucking God.
It doesn't justify it at all. Like.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. This is just a bunch of people complaining about misgendering the shooter, the media misgendering the shooter, misgender.
It's pretty fucking low on the priority. Yeah. It should be, at least. The only I can really see about like misgendering the shooter would be it can be pretty confusing for people.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a trans shooter, and then because I've seen like a lot of take on Twitter where people get confused and think the shooter was like a trans woman. And I feel like for clarity, maybe an argument could be made. But then, like, IDK is just the.
Yeah, have we seen this one yet? I don't know. We might have. It might have been in the compilation, but let's see.
If you're intentionally misgendering the shooter from Tennessee, you don't actually care about the victims. You just want an excuse for your internalized transphobia. What happened was a tragedy. It was horrible. I mourn all of the victims of this transgender shooter. His name is Aiden. What he did is inexcusable. But your transphobia and misgendering of him is also inexcusable. Multiple things can exist at once.
These aren't
because
equivalent.
It's not about him. It's about the whole trans community at large. His actions cannot reflect ours. If you're intentionally misgendering the shooter,
these aren't equivalent bad things. You can't just put them together like that and be like, well, oh, my God. This might be like the most like black pilled I've been in a while, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is pretty black pilling, I have to say. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah. This is pretty black
before
pilling.
we do that, I think Wes mentioned he wanted to come on and talk. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm fine to talk to Wes, but I think he wants to talk to you, and I know that you don't want to. You're not a debate person, and it probably would not be a pleasant conversation. So it's up to you.
Yeah, I'm not really into debates.
I don't mind talking to him, but
I mean, I don't mind having like a conversation, but like if it's gonna turn into debate, it's just
here. Let's do the final thing before we do anything like that, okay? Let's do the final thing before we do anything like that. I'll take this away.
But yeah, like I care a lot less about the shooter's identity than I do about like the actual victims.
Yep. Okay, so
because like the actual victims are the ones you should pay attention to, and like they're the ones that are dead. And
yes.
Yes.
So no, I'll talk to Wes if he likes, but I know that you don't want to, and we can do a thing.
I don't mind, but like as soon as he starts being like rude or whatever, I don't feel like I should have to tolerate somebody just being insulting.
Nope, I completely agree with that. The idea should be to be chill when we talk. If Wes is still there, we can do it. But you know what? We've gone through all the other content. Now I think is to finally
I feel like
watch.
it would be kind of like derailing because like this whole thing wasn't.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Here. Lilith, you're breaking up. Is your internet fucking up?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm here.
I have only got 40 minutes approximately. No, I've got like 35 minutes. So here, guys, we're gonna watch the actual event go down. We've gone over every other part of the conversation that I have saved up. We still do not have the manifesto. Actually, you know what? We'll do the manifesto talk real quick. Because where's manifesto? Just go. Here it is. Okay. So hold on. Give me a moment, okay? Okay, so here's what we'll do. Wes, if you're still listening, we will talk to you after this segment if you want to talk. But I've only got 35 minutes. And I know that Lilith doesn't want this to turn into like a screaming shit show match. Okay? Now, I'll talk with you about some... you and I can go back and forth, and we can have a little argument about it. But I know Lilith doesn't want to have that kind of conversation. It's up to you, Wes. But we are going to watch the video of what happened, which means that after we start watching the video, we lose super chats. All the super chats you've given us up to this point, they stay with us. All super chats in the future go away. So please, if you want to super chat now. Okay, guys? And thank you very much for all your support. So let's go. Okay. Where's the... This is just the joke one. Jesus Christ, Dave. Come on. Is it this one? Nope. God damn it, Dave. Okay. I got it. I'm ready. Okay. So, the final segment. Here we go. There is a manifesto. Nashville shooter Audrey Hale's manifesto to be released after FBI review. They found the manifesto inside Audrey Hale's house. The FBI has the manifesto. They have not yet released the manifesto. The manifesto is going to be released. It's just a matter of when. There are some incredibly brilliant psychological minds and psychological analysts combing through her entire life. This was announced on March 29th, so a little while ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. We still don't have it. We still don't have it. And this came out a couple days ago. Experts explain why you may never get to read the manifesto and why it may not be the blueprint for transgender terrorism that many expect. So as time goes on, people are saying, release the manifesto, release the manifesto. And some people are saying that it might not be, the document that says I did this to further, trans emancipation or some shit like that, right? So, let's see here. Let's see. Come on. There's a part here that I wanted to read. Did I lose it? Come on. Yeah, I want the manifesto. Tweeted Caitlyn Jenner. Okay, Caitlyn Jenner wants the manifesto too. All right. So, some people are saying that Hale's writings may not be the manifesto of radical trans militancy that is expected, and it more likely reflects her grievances, her inner turmoil, and relationship woes. To be fair, a lot of manifestos are like this. Like, I think the best example is Elliot Rodgers. I don't know if you read. I read his manifesto, and it was all about his grievances, his inner turmoil, and his relationship woes.
I heard the audiobook for his manifesto done by Simeon Jimmy.
So what the fuck? What's that?
He used to go by something else.
Suicide Note.
Monkey, yes. He used to be Monkey Jones. And he did a bunch of videos on Elliot Rodger. And yeah. And he read like basically his entire manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
And then YouTube blinked him off for
Monkey Jones, that's
glorifying Elliot Rodger. But which if you actually watch his videos, he basically did nothing of the sort. He basically made fun of him the entire time.
Yeah. This is Aiden's texts. So basically that post I made on here about you, that was basically a suicide note. I'm planning to die today. This is not a joke. You'll probably hear about me on the news after I die. This is my last goodbye. I love you. See you again in another life. Audrey, you have so much life to live. I pray God keeps and covers you. I know, but I don't want to live. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to upset you or get attention. I just need to die. I wanted to tell you first because you are the most beautiful person I've ever seen and known my whole life. My family doesn't know what I'm about to do. One day this will make more sense. I've left more than enough evidence behind, but something bad is about to happen. Yeah, this does sound like somebody who feels radicalized and can't do anything but this. Like, we've covered other shooters before, we've talked about them before, and they all kind of have messages like this. Like, they feel like they have no other option. Yeah. Okay, so the video that was released, Lilith, you and I watched a video of the Tekel Sundberg police action where they took him out because he was like shooting up. There was like a mother and her 2 kids that were stuck in an apartment. He was like going crazy with a gun, and the cops shot him. This is kind of like that, where we see police action, but we don't actually like all the actual violence itself is censored. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna check this out, and people are comparing this event to the Uvalde Police Department and how they just like waited as the person shot all the kids, and they compared these two because these guys jumped right into action. So let's take a look.
So these Nashville cops were on point. They just like no bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I totally endorse killing mass shooters.
Jesus.
To stop them from killing others.
Yep. Keep your rifle by your side, guys.
Yep, very true.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
He's just getting ready.
Yeah.
Into my window, they're upstairs.
Hey. Give me 3. Let's get 3.
Dragon Fat wants us to play Doom music. Jesus.
They just said they heard gunshots down there, and then upstairs are a bunch of kids.
Let's go. I need 3. One more. Let's go. Metro Police.
Open door. On me. We don't know where he is.
Yeah, I think so too, Flamenco. The teacher actually stayed there to tell him what's going on.
Bathroom, small bathroom. Clear.
Next. Let's go.
When I was in grade school, every class didn't have its own bathroom.
With me.
Is that common in American schools?
Open door.
When I went to school for that time when I was in America, I think there was like a basically like a boys' bathroom and a girls' bathroom.
Okay.
I don't think every classroom had a bathroom.
Yeah, because I've seen this video before. Every class they go to has a bathroom in the class.
Just move right. Cover.
Yes,
Cover
maybe some
left.
facilities are better funded than.
Yeah, maybe. This is a private school, says Flamenco. Okay.
Take this with me. Take this. No, that's locked. Take this door. Take this door. Take it.
Checking over rooms, clearing it.
Yep, offices.
Moving fast.
I think it's upstairs.
Instead of waiting outside for fucking forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of them heard a shot, so that, yeah, there it is, there's the shots.
Push an LPV up. Push an LPV up. Reloading.
Jesus.
That's a good dude.
I think they're dead. Yeah.
He's dead, Jim.
Hold the air.
There you go. So after that, it's just someone else's view of the same thing. So yeah, just they go in, they find the person, they blow them away. Wasted, says Dragonfat. Wasted. So yeah, like that was professional. You know?
Too bad they didn't perform a glory kill.
And so there it is. I mean, compared to some of the other, ridiculous situations we've seen, this was about as good as you could expect the police to behave. This is how it should be, Dragonfat, I will suck the dicks of the officers responsible. You know what? In order to motivate all future police actions to be this good, I am formally offering to the police department all of the women in my community for dick sucks as rewards. You have yeah, that's how it has to be.
Wait, does that mean me? Do I have to?
Yes.
Something? Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
Also, it was a bit ridiculous that they fucking mag dump and then say stop moving. It's like, well, I think you got him. I think you got him. They should have teabagged her as a sign of victory. Oh man, like I have seen these memes where the way the shooter fell, their body was positioned like the Family Guy fall.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like, oh my god. Oh yeah, all the femboys got to suck dick too. Yes, you're all. Lilith has to be the police department's trophy girl. The one girl
Okay.
officer who bangs all of them.
You know, I feel, actually, I probably don't think a blowjob would be out of order if they do something heroic. I mean,
well, there we go.
Heroes get the wenches, right?
Yep. So, guys, that's the situation. That's the whole story. I don't have anything else. I guess the TLDR is we don't quite know the motivations. We have a number of good theories. If the manifesto is ever released, I guess we'll learn which one is true. But the point is, this person attacked a school, killed 3 kids, killed 2 teachers, killed a janitor. Completely unacceptable. Was taken out by police in a very professional way. It's a tragedy, and
cops.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, the shooter.
Yes.
Possess to spit, chat.
Yep. And though it's obviously not all trans people, it's obviously not all leftists, obviously, but there are some of them that are being very weird about twisting themselves into pretzels and, trying to support the shooter in some way. And all I can say to you guys is you guys gotta fucking stop. Get the fuck offline, all right? Sometimes, it sucks, but this is an L for you guys. Just leave it alone, all right?
We're seeing lots of S's. Good.
All the spits.
Spits. Hui.
I've got about 20 minutes before Naomi wants to start streaming the gaming stream tonight. Yep. Thanks, Titanium. Yep. So yeah, you guys make sure you stick around because right after this, I'll be playing video games with Naomi, who isn't Lilith, by the way.
Yes. We're 2 different people.
2 different people.
And chat will probably demand me and Naomi be in the same room to confirm in the future.
I'm sure one day it'll happen. Let's do... Oh my god, there's lots of super chats. You know what? I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing the weekly sip tomorrow on Monday, guys. I will read all the excess super chats that I can't get to. Okay? I will read them all. If I miss some, I'll get to them tomorrow, okay? I'm sorry, guys, but I am just running out of time. Let's try to get through as many as we can, okay? Let's see here. Where's the... Okay. How about this? Okay. This is Kyle. $20. Thank you. I think gender dysphoria is not enough of a reason to remove their right to own firearms. I do think that trans people that genuinely believe that trans people are being genocided in the West are a danger to society. Maybe. I don't think the genocide is happening. And people who think that the genocide is happening might be radicalized to do something unnecessary. That's possible. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. I got to think about it some more.
I feel like it really depends on your definition of genocide. Like,
yeah.
There isn't like a straight on like Auschwitz style like we're gonna march trans people on trains and put them in camps type of genocide going on. But if you go take a look at the chart about like the stages of genocide, a lot of the rhetoric and the legislation, especially the ones like just straight up banning or attempting to ban transitioning for adults. and that type of stuff, or
Yeah.
try to eliminate them from existence. That type of rhetoric. It's on the stages.
I don't know if it qualifies as genocide, but I do definitely disagree with it. That's for sure. Okay, hold on. Wes says, Gents, he has a schedule to keep, and that's fine. But Dev, this is obviously a conversation folks want. We should have it. Let's do it. Okay, sure. Now, here's the thing. Wes, you already know my position. Like, Wes, my position is transitioning for, let's say, the beginning of puberty to 18. And by transitioning, I mean social and I mean hormones, not surgery. Just those two, social and hormones. It has to be heavily gate-kept, but it should not be blanket banned for everyone. That's my position, all right? Now, that's not transing the kids. It's a far cry from transing the kids. So if you want to debate me, you have to debate my actual position and not some straw man leftoid position that I don't hold, okay? Okay. Just so you know, that's where I am.
And that's basically my position too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Although with
also
the
Wes.
Yeah.
Wes, did you see my Gramsci video yet? Go watch it. Go watch that. Okay.
Before I get, although we have to get to the super chat real quick.
Yep.
Lilith, important question: Adaptus Mechanicus or Dark Mechanicus? I would say the OG, Adaptus Mechanicus. But I would probably have to look up more lore on the Dark Mechanicus. So.
I didn't strawman or insult you. Okay, if I did, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Okay. All right. Come on. That's literally transing kids. No, Snake. Oh my God, Snake, dude.
The
phrase.
I think that's bullshit, though. He called me a child abuser.
Yes.
For my position.
Yeah,
which
and
which was basically yours.
Yes. Well, Lilith is not a child abuser, Wes. You did say that, and that was definitely a straw man and an insult as well. So, listen, transing kids. The phrase transing kids means taking kids who, if left alone, would not be trans and trying to force them to be trans. All right? That's what transing kids is. All right? That's not what I'm advocating for. Yeah, Wes is saying, yeah, you did my duty. Wes, no, you literally said you're child abusers. No, I'm not. How am I a child abuser, Wes? This is retarded.
And he says because you are. If I am for that my position, then Dev is.
Yeah, but okay.
And it's just like whatever.
No, that's not child abuse, man. No, it is not.
Child abuse was knowing I was trans and denying me access and forcing me to go through the body horror.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Frog Jupiter for $2. Did you hear that Chris Chan got bailed out? Yes.
Yep. If you are reading this or if you are listening to this, you are not safe from Christian. You aren't Lilith. How though?
Yeah.
Is it just because I'm trans? Like,
hold on. Yeah, Wes, I want to actually hear this explanation. We hold the same opinion, so how is it that Lilith is Lilith's abusing kids and I'm not? It's everyone who is here can see the difference between you and Lilith. Okay. Listen, do you want to spend? No, I only have like another 10 minutes, so we could read some more super chats, or we could have a very short conversation.
What difference is there? Like, what the fuck?
Okay, hold on. Artemis Fowl, $5. If you are incapable of understanding the penalty of the law, you shouldn't be able to possess a weapon. This is why toddlers don't get guns. Is that how it works? People understanding the penalty of the law. What do you mean by that? I don't know what Artemis is getting at. I don't know what Artemis is getting at. If you are incapable of understanding the penalty of the law, you shouldn't be able to possess a weapon. Maybe just the idea that like because kids don't know the purpose of the law or like what happens if you break it, then you shouldn't have a weapon. I mean, maybe. But I don't know if that kind of opens some doors though that I don't like. Okay,
Yeah,
Wes
Let's
Okay,
do
hold on.
super chats.
Well, Wes has a super chat apparently explaining it. Let's see if I can find it here. Let's do both. Let's do both at once, okay? Where is it? Where's Wes's super chat? Where is it? Where is it? It vanished. Okay. I'm looking for W's.
Doug said you said the denial of affirmation was abuse, therefore it's safe to assume that HRT is okay for kids by your logic.
I don't see what
I
said
said denial of affirmation for kids who are confirmed to be trans, like I was, who didn't grow out and who won't grow out of it. Then yeah, that's abuse.
Hold on.
Like,
did you send it through
but that
Streamlabs?
but that doesn't mean that all kids should be transitioned.
Obviously,
No,
all
it's
kids
just
should
like,
not be transitioned. Obviously not.
Yeah, obviously not. It's just like, but trans teenagers, not surgery, not like not insane shit, but like if an incorrect puberty could be prevented, then yeah. I mean, I went on hormones before I was 18. Did I abuse myself?
I can't see Wes's super chat. I don't fucking know where it is. All right, that's enough. That's enough for that. Okay, let's continue on here. Okay. Sean said for $5 says the left claims that we are in a fascist state, but also wants to give all the guns to the fascists. Oh, maybe. That's kind of funny. They're like, our government is terrible. It's full of fascists. By the way, only the government should have guns. What? Artemis again for $5. I think a new version of the thought audit should take place, where 4chan should report insane lefties to the ATF. Oh my fucking god. War Turkify for $5. So, power for me, but not for thee. Gun edition. Yeah, there's a lot of that when it comes to guns, honestly. Like, I know, obviously, not all rightoids, probably not even most rightoids. There are definitely some rightoids who are like, oh man, Second Amendment, it's so awesome. We should all have guns. Meanwhile, as soon as a picture of like a black guy holding a gun at the camera comes out, they're like, we need to deal with this. It's like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down, guys.
Reagan moment.
Artemis Fowl.
We gotta have gun control to keep the minorities from protecting themselves.
Artemis Fowl, $5. It's the same argument for not allowing trans people for the military. The medication does cause you to have higher suicidal ideations and mood swings. Maybe. I haven't heard about the medication trans people go on causing suicidal ideations, but I have heard about it causing mood swings. And I know the military doesn't like having their soldiers on meds, so.
And also, being on hormones
Sure.
doesn't cause suicidal ideation. In many cases, it alleviates it.
I think so too. I have to look into it some more, but I think that's the case. Yeah. Artemis Fowl, $2. All demons glow in the dark. All right, dude. Artemis Fowl, $2 says Randy Stair. Randy Stair. Who's Randy Stair again?
Oh, it's the Danny Phantom shooter.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, fuck.
This like some dude wanted to like shoot up his supermarket because he wanted to reincarnate as like a female ghost or some from Danny Phantom.
That's fucking wild. Artemis Fowl. Is Vosh responsible for the shooters with his trans genocide rhetoric?
No.
I'd say like 90% no. Yeah. Because it's still but like here's the thing. There are people who are saying, oh my god, Lauren Southern was responsible for the Buffalo shooter in the supermarket because he mentioned her. And it's like, okay. The minute Vosh is mentioned in a manifesto about like I'm scared about the trans genocide because of Vosh. I've been watching him. I've been getting educated, and now I'm shooting up a place. Then you can blame Vosh as much as you can blame Lauren Southern, which, in my opinion, is not that much, because I think ultimately the people themselves are responsible, not the various content creators they watch. That's how I view it. So, like, if there's responsibility, it's minor.
I think it's pretty funny. And also, Vouch never advocated, like, trans people to shoot people up to defend themselves either.
No, but he did say that the Republicans are coming for you and you should be armed. And it's not hard to, like, fill in between the lines there.
I think the implication is you should be armed in self-defense. Because,
course,
like,
yeah.
I've said similar things where it's just like, if people are coming after you, you should protect yourself. It's a avocation for self-defense, not offense.
I would agree with you, except there's the old stream from 2018 where Vosh said that just shooting cops is good because cops are they're like the enforcing arm of the capitalist state. And then when Rose Rist asked him about it in 2022, he said, I can't answer that question because it'll get my channel taken down. So I don't think that Vosh's opinions have changed since 2018. I think he just really likes keeping his income stream going, and he still feels the exact same way.
Okay.
Well,
I don't agree with the shooting cops take.
Let's see. What's next here? Yeah, Archscoping, I got you, Lilith. Dr. Phi for $22. Thank you. Doesn't ideology already take over the conversation when this sort of thing happens? Like when an incel commits violence, similar conversations around toxic masculinity, misogyny, etc. on the news happens, or police and racism. Yeah. That's why I said that, like, there seems to be a strange double standard, at least among people who are on the radical left, about this shooting. You know, it's always about, like, we have to talk about mental health of young boys. No, they're evil. They're white supremacists. That's why they're shooting. They're like, but now it's like the conversation has flipped because now it's a trans shooter. So I think we can have both of those conversations and be intelligent about it. We can talk about radicalization through ideology. We can talk about mental health. We can talk about both of those things. Let's see. Artemis Fowl, $5. Roof Koreans finally got real political power, and then California tried to crush them and take their guns. We need more Roof Koreans, Lilith. I don't know how you feel about the Roof Koreans.
Oh, I love the Roof Koreans based.
Artemis Fowl, $5. The
But,
school.
It was pretty cringe of California to try to take away their guns.
Yeah. You gotta move out of California, man. They're gonna come for your guns eventually.
Yeah, but maybe I'll move to, like, someplace north at DK.
Artemis Fowl, $5. The school was the second target of choice. It wasn't the primary target. The primary one was too defended, and so they went to the second school to the school instead. I didn't know that. I have to look into that. Maybe. Ghost of Recon, $5. The shooter originally was going to shoot up a different school closer to where she lived, but changed due to that school having security. Okay. I didn't know this part of the story. Fuck. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, maybe it was just like it wasn't like attacking a school for a specific reason. Then it was just lashing out. You know. $10 from Spawn Freak. Thank you. Devin Tracy does a tally of who is doing mass shootings every month. He predicts there will be more transgender mass shooters in April.
Well, April's the third over, and
there was one that was foiled. That was it. They tried and were caught. Yeah. So we'll have to see.
I do think it's funny though, for all this talk about like Vouch being inspiring shooters. The one trans shooter that they caught that also mentioned Vouch said he was
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, hates him.
Alamandorius for $5. If you can understand the why, you can work to prevent the same thing happening in the future. Yes, absolutely. Amazing talking goat. The rhetoric reminds me of old Tumblr logic back in 2014 and 2015 when I was on it. I'm the same age as the shooter. I like to call this the Tumblr shooter. Yeah, you can obviously see the you go if you were active in Tumblr spaces 6 or 7 years ago, you can see some wild shit in there. Like kill all the cis people, kill all the white, kill all men. There was some nutty shit going on there. And to think that it might actually be bleeding over into real life is pretty scary because those people are fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like the Society for Cutting Up Men.
Oh fuck yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
The
Okay.
Scum Manifesto.
Yep. I'm out of time.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the end. Thanks for being here, Lilith. I know it was not the most pleasant topic, but I think we did. I think we did it justice. I think we handled it like fairly, covered all the bases.
Yeah. I was a bit upset that West wasn't able to defend himself. Like,
well, we didn't. You know what? It's hard to defend yourself. I'm not going to hold it against him because he was in a chat room, right? Like, maybe it's better.
Yeah, but he didn't elaborate why. Like, he called me like a child abuser or whatever he called me, and then he said, "Oh, you're okay, Dev." It's just like what the fuck.
Listen, if you actually want to talk to him, we can arrange it. I have no problem doing that.
It's just a troll. And I feel like we already paid too much attention to it.
I don't think he's just a troll because I've known him for like 5 years. He's a long member of my community. This is not somebody who just came in and just sniped. No, listen.
I'm fine. I'm fine to have like a private conversation or a public one. It depends.
Okay. Yep. Listen, it is completely up to you. I will leave that ball in your court. If Wes wants to talk to me, I'll talk to him. If he wants to talk to you, I'll facilitate it. Private or public, I'm okay with it. But I have to go because Naomi wants to play video games tonight. It's time for the gaming stream to start. So listen, guys, the gaming stream will be starting in about 15 minutes. Make sure you stick around. This stream will redirect into the gaming one, and you'll see Lilith. No, God damn it! No! You'll see Naomi and I.
I didn't run away. I wanted to have a conversation with him. He's the one that ran away.
You will see Naomi and I there.
Oh, so yeah, go see Naomi.
Shortly. I gotta stop confusing you two. I'm gonna get fucking crucified by everyone.
Oh shoot! You Freudian slipped again, huh?
Yes.
Oh shit!
You didn't even notice it, did you? So listen.
I didn't. I was paying attention to retard chat. I should stop paying attention to these people.
Honestly, no. The chat was actually pretty good today, all things considered. Okay. Anyway, listen.
There were some people, but hey, most of you guys were cool. And sorry about your two Freudian slips in one video. Jeez.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go raid into the gaming stream. The gaming stream starts in about 15 minutes. Make sure you're there. Thanks for all your support, guys. And I will see you next time. I'll see you tomorrow for the sip. And I think, Lilith, we have to do the Tubcast again on Sunday next week because I have stuff going on Saturday. If you're free. Yeah.
If I am, then we could probably delay it to 1 or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Or Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. I'll talk to you about it after, okay?
Yeah.
So thanks very much, guys. Thanks very much. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Yep. Take care. Have a good weekend.